The following Southwest Conference football game is a presentation of Special Order Sports in association with Prime Sports. Here are a few things you need to know before today's game. The Aggies hold the nation's longest home winning streak at 30 games.
Corey Pullick's 30 career wins make him the winningest quarterback in Texas A&M history.
Middle Tennessee State is known as the Blue Raiders, and they have a good passing attack.
And Special Order Sports needs the four of us together to cover all the action. Next.
From Kyle Field in College Station, Special Order Sports presents college football. It's the Texas A&M Aggies hosting the Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders. Hello again, everyone. I'm Greg Lucas. I'll be joined by Bucky Richardson and Ed Biles in the booth. Bill Land on the sidelines for this battle between teams from two separate divisions. The Aggies, of course, in Division 1A and Middle Tennessee State Division 1AA. Coming into this game, Bucky Richardson, the Aggies are 6-2, which is a good record, but it probably isn't a strong 6-2.
You're right. Texas A&M offensively is struggling with consistency. For example, last week against Rice, Leland McElroy has 168 yards rushing, and they're only able to muster 17 points. On the other side of the football, the A&M defense, they're ranked second nationally, played well all year. Another strong performance out of them today, and they'll be fine.
It's an important game for the Aggies because they're getting ready for the next two conference games, TCU and Texas, but they can't overlook Middle Tennessee State. Ed Biles, Middle Tennessee State comes in here as a decided underdog, but they do have a good record on their level. What's the game plan?
Well, Boots Donnelly says that his game plan is if they kick off, they'll line up for the extra point. If they receive, they'll worry about recovering the fumble. The sly old fox over there at breakfast this morning, his SID man said to him, "Coach, I hope we play as well as we've been playing all year." Boots calmly replied, "We better play better than that." If the old fox has been in there for 17 years, he knows how to get a team ready. I think his football team will be ready to give a good effort. Whether they have enough depth, that remains to be seen.
Yeah, the depth is the key, and certainly whether or not the Aggies overlook this game with TCU and Texas coming up next. They can't afford to do that. Bill Land will be on the sideline throughout the telecast. We'll be in the booth. We'll have the lineups and all the action coming up next right here from Kyle Field. College football on Prime Sports. Brought to you by the Gatorade Company. If you're living life to the fullest, you're going to get thirsty. That's why you need Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Life is a sport. Drink it up.
The Tejano Country Network is proud to present the biggest and best concert event of the year, Tejano Country's Thanksgiving Tejano Fest 95. This is your exclusive backstage pass for 2 full hours of uncut concert performances by Ma, Roberto Pulido, Elsa Garcia, La Sombra, and 5 other hot Tejano groups. Plus, you'll visit the Tejano Country Outfitters to look your best this holiday season. Tejano Country's Thanksgiving Tejano Fest 95. Here's how to order.
The San Antonio Symphony presents our all-new production featuring Ballet Met's San Antonio debut, The Nutcracker. Live the enchantment on Thanksgiving weekend. Ballet Met's The Nutcracker, Tchaikovsky's holiday tradition. Bring your whole family. For tickets, call now. The symphony is for you.
Welcome back to Kyle Field in College Station, Texas, everyone. Greg Lucas here, along with Ed Biles and Bucky Richardson in the booth. Bill Land on the sideline. We will have a crowd in the 50,000s for this game when they all get settled in. This is a crowd that was threatened yesterday by very, very poor weather in the area. And while the weather conditions today are much, much better, 72 degrees, 35% humidity, the winds out of the northeast at 7, and well, mostly clear skies. There's some clouds, but not the type that looked to threaten to immediate rain. I'm sure that the fact that it was threatening yesterday, and in fact the forecast was not supposed to be as good as we just read it, has kept some of the folks away. R.C. Slocum has his job cut out for him here. Ed Biles as a head coach. This is nervous time, isn't it? Right before the start of the ball game.
Well, I think RC's normally a little more nervous than he might be today. He has to feel that they're good enough to take this game in stride. If they have trouble against Middle Tennessee, then they know they're in trouble next 2 weeks against TCU and Texas. So I think they probably spent a little time this week preparing for both TCU and Texas, Greg.
Boots Donnelly, the head coach, you see his record with the Blue Raiders. He's been in the Ohio Valley Conference for 19 years, actually. A couple of Austin Peay. Wisecracking coach, but a very good coach, as evidenced by the record, and 5 times his teams have had championships in the Ohio Valley Conference. And he knows the early part of the game will help settle his players down. As the ball's in the air, the Aggies will return a short kickoff. And McElroy gets his hands on the ball right off the bat, struggling across the 30 to about the 33. That's where the ball will be put in play by the Aggies.
Well, Boots' first prediction was wrong, Greg. They didn't have to line up for the extra point after the kickoff.
They took their chances, too, kicking it to McElroy. It was one of the very best in the country at returning them. It'll be on the 33-yard line, first down. Now Bucky Richardson, we're looking at the Aggies. They had a strong running game last week, though they only produced the 17 points. Do we look for them to continue that, to try to solidify that running game in this one?
Absolutely. I think they'll just go back to basics and just put man on man and run the ball. Leland right, Leland left, and see what happens.
Now Leland is the running back with Tron Smith now moving over to the right side, and they're going to throw actually that may have been a lateral. Connell has the ball. He's across the 35-yard line to about the 38-yard line. Gary Barnes making the stop. Barnes, a freshman from Nashville. And by the way, this defensive backfield for Middle Tennessee State, very, very young. Offensively, this is the starting lineup for the Aggies. Pulling at quarterback, McElroy and Detron Smith, who primarily blocks at fullback. Connell, who just caught one, with Chris Sanders and Hayward Clay, the main receivers. And the line has Ruman, McKinney, Hackrat, Collins, and Goodwin. On second down. There's the first down. And a little bit more. A lot more. As Connell is still running. And Connell is still running. And Connell is in for the touchdown, A&M.
Well, Greg, I'm wrong already in this ballgame. They came out through 2 passes right quick, and that was a great individual effort by Connell right there.
Well, I think they're really trying to take advantage of that secondary. There's 4 freshmen playing in Middle Tennessee's secondary.
That was a 61-yard play.
All you see here is Corey Pullick rolling out to the right, high percentage pass, and this is a great individual effort by Albert Connell, breaking 2 or 3 tackles right here. And once he gets out in the open field, there's nobody on that field that can catch him.
So the Aggies take about 3 plays to get their first score, and it's the Aggies on top 6-0. The try for the extra point is coming. It is good, and the Aggies, that was Kyle Bryant, make it 7-0 with 14 minutes and 8 seconds to go in the first quarter. Aggies 7, Middle Tennessee State nothing.
Prime Sports Showcase, the channel of channels, features the best of 4 networks, plus pro and college events from your regional sports network. Classic Sports, where all the legends play. Sports news, the most up-to-the-minute scores and highlights. Prime Deportiva, the first and only all-Spanish sports network. Women's Sports and Entertainment Network, the only network dedicated to women's sports. Call your cable company to get Prime Sports Showcase, the channel of channels.
52 seconds expired. Aggies on the board on a pass play, really, that was primarily to get the first down, and it kept going.
Yeah, that was awfully easy for Connell there. He just caught the football and ran upfield and made 2 or 3 guys miss, and once he gets in the open field, he hit his head on the goalpost, as they say.
That was the longest pass play of the year for the Aggies, and of course, mostly run. It was a pass run. Most of it was the run, but it is the longest of the year at 61 yards.
And 2, Greg, I think this is a real important game for Corey Pullick, confidence-wise. Going to these next 2 games against TCU and the big one against Texas, they know offensively they've got to play better. And I think Corey gets some confidence here. It really sets the next 2 ball games up for the A&M offense.
As Reveille watches eagerly, you see that was a 3-play drive. Ackridge will take the ball at the 3-yard line for Middle Tennessee State. And he's got some running room. Ackridge has got a lot of running room to the 45-50, 45-43-yard line, and we may have an offensive football game here as Ackridge returns the opening kick to about the 41-yard line in Aggie territory. 56 yards officially to Ackridge on that play. Now let's see.
Well, you can see the wedge coming up the middle there. There's a good block right there. Good block there. Now, Lyons cuts back to the outside. It's a little running room. There's only one safety remaining. There's the tackle there, and that's a good way for Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders to start off the football game.
And that was Lyons, 29, not 25. So I had a misidentification, but boom, down quickly. Keith Mitchell with the sack of quarterback Jonathan Quinn.
I believe that's Keith Mitchell's 10th sack on the year. He's been making big plays all year long.
Sad part about this, they kept the tight end in to block over there. Mitchell came right underneath the tight end and made the play. And again, that's really discouraging from Middle Tennessee's standpoint because they kept the extra blocker in for that sole purpose.
It's second down and 19. The ball just at the 50-yard line. Nothing on the give to LeBron McGill. Edward Jasper, the nose guard, the first man to hit him. Middle Tennessee's starting offensive unit. Big quarterback Jonathan Quinn. He's 6'6", 230. Brigham Lyons, 29. That is the man that ran back the kickoff. And Tommy Kreiner, the fullback. Moss Stiller, top receiver. Toby Walker and Carlos Jeter. And the line of Talley, Massey, Bean, Williams, and Jarvis Jolly. Now it's a third down and 19. After the opening play of this drive, which actually was the kickoff return, there has been nothing. Quick release on the pass. It's too high, incomplete. And that will be intended for Moss Stiller, but it will be a fourth down. Moss Stiller couldn't reach it. He probably had nowhere to go if he had caught it.
Well, the problem in a game like this is going to be side up front in the trenches. Whether Middle Tennessee's offensive line can hold up. And obviously these first few plays, you can see that the Aggies' wrecking crew defensive line seem to be dominating it. Offensively and defensively, that line will have a big effect on the outcome of today's game.
Ray Mickens, the lone back to receive this punt, which is off the board about the 40-yard line. Mickens at the 10. Mickens has a huge hole up the middle. He is finally pitched down the 42-yard line, a return of just about 32 yards as Mickens, one of the best in the nation, shows why, although he had an initially large hole.
Ray Mickens is one of the guys I talked to yesterday in the walkthrough, and I sensed from him they weren't taking this game lightly. And as you can see by the way this game started, A&M is into the ball game. They're hitting on all cylinders, and they're ready to play today.
It was a good setup for the middle return. That's exactly what they did on that middle return, was set it up and went right straight up the middle with it.
Hawkins is wide, along with Gray. Now moving over is Smith, sliding across the line to set the block for McElroy. McElroy cuts loose. McElroy will not be stopped. Leland McElroy, touchdown, Texas A&M. A 58-yard jaunt.
This game could get out of hand early by the rate it's going now. I tell you what, A&M is ready to play. There's going to be a lot of smooching going on today.
That's one of the big traditions.
That's right.
One of the big traditions. Well, I think right now the boys in Jonathan Sports Bar on the square in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, are not very happy with the way this game has started out.
On the other hand, down there at the tap, they're pretty happy, I can assure you. That's a local
yeah.
Coach, that's a local
Better explain that to folks in Tennessee.
Sports bar here in College Station area.
And the kick is good. And that replaces the scoreboard with a 14-0. We've got 12-14 to go in the first period, and we'll be back.
Join the
the thousands who have discovered the Contour Pillow, anatomically designed to follow the natural contour of your neck and head while it supports and aligns your spine. Ordinary pillows lose their shape, but the Contour Pillow supports your body the way nature intended. Tense muscles relax, rest, and rejuvenate. We guarantee you awaken refreshed and ready to go, or your money back. The Contour Pillow is now available for $19.95. Call now for a free pillowcase. Find out what thousands of Americans have already learned. The ultimate night's sleep is only a phone call away. Order now.
I bet this place, Kane Hall, brings fond memories.
You're absolutely right, Greg. You know why? Because when I was recruited by A&M and I came here, first time I'd ever been away from Mom and Dad, this was my house. They cook for you, they clean for you, they take care of you. And a lot of people call Kane Hall the best restaurant in town. And they do a great job taking care of the athletes and making sure they have 3 hefty meals a day. And I think the average weight gain for football players is like 12 pounds a year. So you can imagine the kind of food they're serving. So it's a great place to live.
We took Bucky around campus yesterday, reliving some of his moments with a little home video camera. We have 2 or 3 more we'll show you throughout the day. And 14-0 here as the Aggies have been using that extra weight gained at Kane Hall and dominating except coverage of kickoffs. They haven't done quite as well. That one got up to the 26-yard line. Again, let's go down to Bill Lamb on the sidelines.
Thanks, Greg. You know, it's pretty obvious that the Aggies are not treating this game like maybe they did SMU or Houston, where they got behind early and really played kind of lackluster football. All they're talking about here on the sidelines right now is let's go out and get a 3rd one, and we didn't see that here a couple of weeks ago.
Certainly the emotion is pumped after a couple of long gains, long plays, and the defense totally stuffing Middle Tennessee State the first time the Blue Raiders had the football. It's on the 26-yard line. Mostiller with the completion. First down, and he gets across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Mostiller is run out by Ray Mickens on the first pass completion from big Jonathan Quinn. 508 yards this year for Quinn. And here's how the Aggies got their second touchdown. Nice big block by Smith. That's his job.
Well, this is going to be McElroy right, McElroy left, and here Leland's one of the best running backs in the country, and he shows why on that run right there.
He's averaging, of course, he's coming off 168 yards. He's averaging over 100 this year per game, despite the fact he's had several under that mark. Quick hitter to Mostiller, and he dropped it. The old proverbial started to run before he had the ball because he had a little bit of extra room if he'd held on. It's a good receiver ordinarily. Mostiller is a 5'7", 160-pound junior from Chattanooga. In fact, just last week, he and Quinn teamed up on a 98-yard touchdown pass against Tennessee Tech.
Well, they can throw the ball, Greg. I think it's just going to be a matter of whether they're able to protect Quinn. If they give him time, he'll put the ball in those receivers' hands.
2nd down and 10. Possibly a play change at the line of scrimmage. Now they're looking like they're going to blitz him. Here they come, and he is nailed. Whoa, big loss. Larry Walker, the 6'2", 230-pound junior from Rusk was right in his face. That A&M defense, the line has Mitchell, Jasper, and Pat Williams. Always has been a strong point of Texas A&M football, the defensive unit. Brown, Holdman's a little banged up. Dotton Wynn, who has moved on and gotten better every week. And then Ray Mickens, of course, the veteran. Donovan Greer coming back from an injury a few weeks ago.
Well, you see the blitz coming. You see the linebackers coming. They split the gap between the center and both guards, and back didn't step up to pick up the linebacker. There's a fumble on exchange.
Could gain some yard. He blew it dead. Flag is thrown. And we'll see what the call was. They blew it dead. It appeared he picked it up all right without any knees down, but we'll see.
Before the snap, dead ball, false start, offense.
And that cost them 5 more and will make it 3rd and about 26.
Well, right now, Greg, Middle Tennessee showing a little of the big stage fright jitters here. They have to settle down, and that offense is going to have to make a few first downs to keep the defense off the field, or this one could get ugly awfully early, and Boots knows it over there on that sideline.
That Jonathan Quinn, who was a tight end, has very little quarterback experience. Big man, though. He can see the field, that's for sure. He's looping one deep, and that'll be overthrown and well, let's see. Is he out of bounds? Did he catch it? Yes, he did. He caught it. Incomplete and intercepted. First, I thought he may have been out of bounds, but Mickens is credited with the catch. And so that does not work quite as well as a punt. It works as well as a bad punt with a good run back, because he's got the ball at the 41.
Well, it almost turns out same as a punt. He's throwing the ball deep. Of course, he's under pressure again. Tried to loft it deep. Mickens with a good over-the-shoulder catch. The Aggies again with great field position to start their third drive of the game.
As you can see from the end zone shot, he was easily inbounds. It is 14-0 Aggies with 10:45 to go in the first period. A 61-yard pass, Pulig to Connell. A 58-yard McElroy run. And now the Aggies with their third possession. Pulig looks up the middle, and it's incomplete. Intended for the tight end, Hayward Clay. Defense was right there, so it'll be second down and 10. Michael Claybrooks was able to hit him quickly. Claybrooks, the top defender of the linebackers on the Blue Raider team. Now it's a second down and 10. Hicks, Upshaw, Moore, and McCord. The front line, with the exception of moving McCord to a defensive end, has been fairly stable. Claybrooks was an inside linebacker. And then they have a 4 freshman defensive backfield. That's moved around a lot this year. Pulig up the middle, incomplete. That one was intended but not close to. The receiver there, Aaron Oliver. Henley was the closest defender, and it'll be third down. Now this, Bucky, could be a certain extent of what we're talking about before the game. Somewhat inconsistent here. This series, these first 2 plays haven't looked very good.
No, they haven't. And this is one of the things that we talked about earlier. Also, is they need to just simplify things and come out, run the ball right, run the ball left, and throw some high percentage passes and look good and gain some confidence going into the next 2 weeks, actually, and get their offense going consistent.
Pulig is working out of the shotgun here and perhaps changing the play as he is signaling to his backs. Now he's going to go deep up the middle, and it is incomplete, and that one was catchable but was not. And so it'll be a punt situation. Cedric Stigall was close. Dante Hawkins, though, should have perhaps caught that one.
Good coverage. Corey put the ball the only place it could be put, and looked like the receiver there just dropped the football. Great pass by Corey Pulig. Should have been caught.
So now for the first time, Mosteller will drop back to see what he can do about receiving the punt, which gets a good sail. He's going to let it sail, and it just gets into the end zone where the ball will come out to the 20-yard line. That's where Middle Tennessee State's Blue Raiders will put the ball in play. On a 62-yard punt. Pretty good record, huh? Pretty good numbers. Tonight, beginning at 5 o'clock, live on Prime Sports, Dallas and San Antonio markets will catch up on all the action in collegiate ranks on college football, followed immediately by 16th-ranked Oregon and Oregon State. That'll be live. The Houston market will get Sports Talk at 7, followed by the Nuggets and the world champion Rockets live. Prime Sports, it is more than just a game. By the way, if Oregon wins that game, they'll most likely play in the Cotton Bowl. So folks around this part of the country interested in taking a look at the Ducks. That ball's batted in the air and intercepted. Here comes an Aggie touchdown. Touchdown. Deflected by Keith Mitchell. And Reggie Brown runs it in, and it is an Aggie defensive play leading to the third touchdown. Well, all the luck that Middle Tennessee is having is not good.
Well, take a look now. You see it. Take a look at the deflection there. The ball is deflected. Hand up in the air. Just bounced perfect for them. Now it goes right over. You see the linebackers drop back in zone position. Ball, Reggie Brown inherits a touchdown. That's an easy one. He stood over there in his zone and waited for it, caught it, walked it into the end zone. Right now, things are not going very good for the Blue Raiders.
We got a timeout with 10:16 to go, still in the first quarter, and it's Texas A&M 21, Middle Tennessee State University nothing.
The National Institute on Aging talks with George Burns and Bobby Vinton about growing older.
I've learned that you can't help getting older, but you don't have to get old.
Do you think you're slowing up?
No, I'm not getting any faster, but I'm sitting down, I'm fine.
For free tips on healthy aging, call 1-800-222-2225.
Commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this game without the express written consent of Special Odor Sports, Texas A&M University, and Middle Tennessee State University is prohibited. You can see the crowd is filling in a lot more on this side of the field. In fact, they may have a little larger crowd than they had anticipated with the sun breaking. But it has been a cloudy day so far for the Blue Raiders. This is Lyons. Lyons is met hard and driven back by Philip Myers. And it'll be a first down there for the Blue Raiders, who have not been able to produce any offense at all. That's what we mean. In fact, that's less than not producing any offense at all.
That's exactly what A&M wanted to do today, was come out, get an early lead, let some of the younger guys play, hopefully in the second half, and they've done that up till now.
Mostiller is wide near side. Out of the I formation. And there'll be a flag here. As the left side, Bert Talley, the senior from Fayetteville, Tennessee, jumped a bit quick. He's a veteran. He's one of the few veterans on the team, 6'3", 295 pounds. And they'll move it back. Middle Tennessee State is Division I AA, but they're moving to Division I-A in a couple of years. And of course, Boots and the whole athletic department know that's a big move. Two people on it. Is it intercepted? No, it's yes. Ray Mickens with his second one just took it right away for the intended receiver, Toby Walker. That was a wrestling match, and it was Mickens the stronger of the two.
Well, that's Mickens' fourth interception of the year. That's why the senior defensive cornerback is considered one of the premier cornerbacks in the country, and the pro scouts are taking an awful good look at him. He's small, but he has that ability to go. But once again, the pressure up front. Quinn is throwing into the face of someone jumping into him. He has to get it over the hands of the defensive man reaching in, and Mickens with good sense of timing just went up and got his second interception. That's 3 interceptions on the last 3 possessions for A&M.
Already 2 of the day for Mickens, and now the Aggies, who last offensive possession were 3 and punt, but their first 2 were quite successful, 2 touchdowns. McElroy, not much there as he tried to go off the right side. Down at the bottom, Chris White, number 50, a Murfreesboro hometown guy, sophomore. McElroy, there you see his average. The average is not particularly impressive. He had a few games where it was a real struggle, but then he came back last week, 168 yards. And the thing we've already seen is he is capable of using that speed and just blowing by people. He had a 58-yard touchdown already in this game. 2nd and 9. Pulling on a screen. McElroy, he's got the first down, and he's not going to stop. McElroy inside the 40-yard line, down to about the 32. Garland Henley finally ran him out, but that was well executed and timed, and the Aggies get a big first down. A 38-yard screenplay. Aggies rolling up some yards.
Greg, this is a well-executed screenplay here. They're blitzing some linebackers. Pulick does exactly what he's supposed to do, get depth, makes a good throw. Got 3 lead blockers out there with Leland McElroy. You know you're going to gain some yards. Well-executed screenplay.
The thing I liked about that, you notice the block McElroy threw before going out into the pattern. But now on the carry-off right tackle, bumps down around the 30-yard line. Pick up on that play of just about 5 yards. Jeremy McMurray, who was switched from fullback to the defensive backfield once the season started this year, was the man who made the hit. 2nd down and 4. McElroy has had his first game this year against Louisiana State, LSU, 229 yards. Wow, the eyes were open. But he's only had 2 other 100-yard games this year. Part of that because he has had an ankle problem and other assorting nagging injuries. Pulick, too high. Again, those are the ones that really really hurt, don't they, Ed and Bucky both, because the defense didn't do anything there. That just was missed.
Well, I know from a player standpoint, those kind of throws there make coaches furious, but defending for Corey Pullard right here, he had a guy bearing down on him. He had to get rid of the football and just stood a little bit high, huh, Coach?
Yeah, and the other fact, nobody completes 100% of their passes. You talk about a quarterback completing 60%. That's a great percentage, and Corey is completing about 52% of his passes.
First carry of the game, and their big one for Hardeman, and Hardeman gets it down inside the 5-yard line. DeAndre Tiki Hardeman from Galena Park, his first carry, finally stopped by Henley. There you see the Hardeman record. His average per carry actually a little bit better than the starter. McElroy filled in, had a great game that McElroy missed against SMU. Hardeman had 130 yards in that game.
Well, Ed commented on it earlier. Can Middle Tennessee offensive defensive lines hold up? Up till now, A&M's offense is blowing huge holes and giving up some big yards.
Yeah, McElroy's in for the touchdown on the play from about the 5-yard line. McElroy with his second touchdown of the game. And with the extra point coming, it could be as much as 28-0. And we are still in the first quarter. And folks, we still have 8 minutes left in the first quarter.
And here you see what I'm talking about. A huge hole for Leland McElroy. Gets hit on the 3 and just stays into the end zone. And A&M offensively has looked very, very sharp.
Another extra point attempt, and this one is right there as it hooks back in. And we now have 8 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the first quarter, and it's 28-0 as the Aggies look determined. I'll tell you what, let me ask you this, Bucky. The tide seems to have turned in the public perception of the Aggies. How many people do we now hear say that even though the game is going to be played here, they think Texas will be favored in the game in 2 weeks? Has that spurred these guys on at all? Because I know they didn't like to hear that.
Oh, you're absolutely right. They hate to hear that type of thing, but you have to give Texas credit, too. They've been playing some pretty good football the last few weeks, and they deserve to be ranked where they are. But on the other hand, A&M is going to have 31 home games, longest home winning streak in the country. And I can tell you A&M players take pride in that, too. So I think when Texas and Texas A&M play, you throw out the records, you throw out who's doing what and who's got who. It's always a good football game, and it'll be no different this year.
By the way, we heard that there aren't any tickets for it either. Bill Land's on the sideline. Bill.
A couple of score updates, fellas. First of all, Texas is leading TCU. That's a key game today in the Southwest Conference, 13-10. They're in the second period in that one. A surprise, 4th-rated Tennessee is losing to Kentucky, 17-9 at the half. Ohio State, ranked number 2, defeating Indiana 21-3. That one's in the third.
And a kickoff is taken again by Lions. Whoa, down he goes. Dumped right at the 20-yard line by Rich Cody.
Coach, what will Boots Donnelly tell his players now? They're down 28-0. How do you keep your guys into it at this point?
Well, right now he's just trying to say, let's just settle down and try to play decent football. He knows now they're not going to come from behind and win this football game. They're playing a little bit for pride. He hopes this team just tries to play hard. They're missing an awful lot of tackles early in the ball game, Buck.
You know, that's one thing that has been true. They may be out-muscled, but they're missing some tackles. Lions with a good game as Brigham Lions gets across the first down yardage, picks up about 14. Ray Mickens has been playing all over the field, finally made the stop, and that's a first down.
And that's the kind of plays the Boots hopes that his team can go. Take a look at the replay now. You see they're running the play where they pull the backside guard across to open up the hole, a little bit of a hole there. Lyon shows that he has some running ability. They have to make a few plays like that, just get this team set around, get belief that they can do something offensively.
Bostiller wide to the near side. Walker top of the screen wide, I formation. And again the give to Lions, and Lions breaks forward across the 40 down to about the 43-yard line. That's pick up of just about 8. Typale McMullen, the junior from Lubbock Dunbar, Scruggs in on the tackle, and that's 2 good running plays in a row behind Lions, who had the long kickoff return earlier.
And if they can continue to run the ball a little bit, then they may be able to work the play action passes. But if they put themselves in a position that A&M knows they have to pass, A&M can lay those ears back and go after, and Middle Tennessee's offensive line just not good enough to block those on-rushing people of Mitchell and Reggie Brown and Brandon Mitchell and Jasper and Maxwell. They're too good for it.
Look at the I formation. Again on a first down. And maybe a yard, and that probably is about it. Larry Walker on the stop of Lyons. And it's going to be a yard gain. 2nd down and 9.
Well, that time the Aggies went into defensive, what you call a run blitz. Middle Tennessee's run the ball the last couple of plays, so they went into a blitz where everybody has a gap. Even though you bring linebackers, you're anticipating more, trying to stop the running game and stopping it for no gain, as they did there. Good call by the Aggie defensive coaches.
Yeah, the Aggie defense stops everyone, and when you've got a size advantage, an experience advantage, a depth advantage, that's why it's going to be tough for Middle Tennessee to score very many points. 2nd down and 9. And there may have been movement on the line. That would be on the offensive line. Apparently everyone was pointing at Jarvis Jolly, at least all the Aggies were. They want the officials to see.
Well, one of the problems you have when you're bringing a team in, there's motion, obviously.
False start, offense.
One of the problems you have with your team, especially when you fall behind 28 points as they had, is to keep that good concentration. You have the offensive line and the tight end, they have to concentrate on that starting camp. They can't be distracted by the fact that A&M's linebackers are moving around and jumping in and jumping out.
It'll be 2nd down, 14. Rollout pass is completed, but for very little gain there. Reggie Brown on the stop of Carlos Jeter, who catches his 10th of the year.
Coach, I think you make a good point. It's a chance for Boots Donnelly to really figure out what kind of character his team's got. We're going to keep our concentration, battle back. We know we're outmanned. We know A&M's got more talent. But let's see what we can do. Let's not quit. And I think that's what Coach Donnelly's going to find out today about his players, what kind of heart they have.
And that's all he's asking out of them, to settle down and run some basic plays just like the last 2 or 3 that they have.
3rd down, 12. Now the Aggies are all up on the line. Look out. Now they're dropping back. Had to get rid of it. The ball is going to be a pass interference on somebody. Who is tripping whom? Well, Mostiller is clapping, so he's thinking it's going to be against the Aggies. And that would be Mickens. Let's take a look at it.
Get him isolated here. Mickens run down, gets a hand on him there. Mostiller, that's an illegal. Well, he's got his hands all over him there. I would think this definitely should be against the defensive back.
That was a mugging, wasn't it, Coach?
Yeah, well, it was.
Pretty good. You get 2 interceptions. You're trying to get that 3rd one quick like.
Middle Tennessee showing a lot of confidence going after Ray Mickens, who undoubtedly is A&M's best cover guy. And that's the 3rd time they've tried to go deep on Ray. And he's got 2 interceptions early.
On the defense.
Well, they've probably seen all these other teams in the conference over here trying to go the other way, and they figure, well, maybe this guy's going to fall asleep over there. Let's go after Mickens. But you're right, Mickens is the best quarterback. I'm sure he's a little bit surprised by all the attention he's received so far today.
Well, I think a lot of it too may be that simply the Twins trying to hit his best receiver, which is Mostiller, and Mostiller is being watched by Mickens. And so what do you do? That, by the way, was enough yardage for the 1st down. They needed about 11. They, of course, got 15 on the penalty, so it's on the 41-yard line, 1st down in Aggie territory. Here they come again. The handoff. Lyons is going to try to turn the corner and cannot. He is just tracked down by Reggie Brown, the All-Southwest Conference All-American candidate from Austin Reagan. And another loss on the play.
Well, once again, they've got to see the blitz, the 2 inside linebackers. Now, all Reggie Brown's responsibility is to stay to the outside as he did on this play. Those are run blitzes, and they're just saying, we're going to take each gap. You can't run inside. If you try to run something outside, then you're going to be faced with Reggie Brown and Keith Mitchell sitting out there waiting to inherit those people as they come that way.
2nd and 20. 10-yard loss on the play. Short drop, swing out of the backfield. It's high. Picked off by Lyons. He spins away, but he's only getting a couple of yards after a hard effort. Larry Walker was right there. Doc Quinn also in on the play. It'll be a 3rd down and about 18.
I'll tell you one thing. This play didn't go for much yardage. This is a great catch by Lyons. Watch the good concentration. He's got to reach out in front of him with his left hand, keeps his eye on it, brings it back in, almost escapes the tackle. That's just a great individual play by Brigham Lyons, a senior from Greenville, Tennessee.
3rd and 18 officially on the big board. There's Lyons. He's had a productive game. but his team is trailing 28-0. 4:43 to go first period. Look out, here come the Aggies again. They may have jumped now. They're looking for flags. There are flags. The ball is in the air. It is over the shoulder and incomplete, but it may still be that the advantage is going to go to the Blue Raiders. There were 2 flags on the play. Donovan Greer was on coverage.
Yeah, they're going to have a free play. A&M clearly was offsides. Of course, one of the things that happens in this situation, you got each of them now wants to get the sack. There's no movement on the offensive line. Look at the defensive line. They want to get those sacks. Everybody's anxious to get in that quarterback's face, and they know it's the ideal time to lay their ears back with a 3rd down and 19 or 20.
Coaches, you know it doesn't matter who you're playing. When you're facing 3rd and 15s, 3rd and 20s, it's going to be hard to win ball games. And up till now, Middle Tennessee on 1st down hasn't done much, and it's hard to win ball games like that.
I thought your quarterbacks liked that situation, Bucky. 3rd and 15, 3rd and 18. When you knew those defensive linemen were coming after you.
Because we know those defenses are going to be pinning those ears back. We don't like to get sacked. I can promise you that.
You pretty boys don't like to get sacked.
Absolutely not.
And a timeout call. They may have been having to battle the play clock, and so a timeout called by Middle Tennessee. And they'll talk things over on this 3rd down in 13. Aggies lead it. Recapping, if you joined us late, 28-0. Pulling to Connell, a 61-yard touchdown pass, 3rd play of the game. McElroy, a 58-yard run just about 2 minutes later. Then about 2 minutes later, Reggie Brown intercepted one off a Keith Mitchell deflection. And then about 2 more minutes later, McElroy went in from 5 yards. Aggie Corps of Cadets. And by the way, before the TCU game next Saturday, be ready, Fort Worth, because the 2,100 Aggies and the Corps of Cadets will march through downtown Fort Worth. Fighting Texas Aggie band steps off at 9 o'clock from the corner of Weatherford and Lamar Streets. Aggie fans can see the Corps accompanied by its Parsons Mounted Cavalry Unit along the Weatherford, Main, or Commerce Streets. Those main streets they'll be on. With A&M and TCU, of course, will be moving to different conferences next year, so it may be a long time before the Corps marches in Fort Worth again. So don't let this parade pass you by. See the Corps of Cadets Saturday morning in Fort Worth. Of course, the Aggies moving on to what will be the Big 12, and TCU moving on to the very large, even bigger, 16-team Western Athletic Conference.
Bucky, do the football players ever regret that they can't be in the stands doing all that kissing during these games?
I'm sure a lot of them do. I know I did every now and then, but shoot, it's hard to beat being out there on that football field.
Pass is bounced. Mosteller could have been in position to catch it, but it was bounced. Williams was close. Little pressure on the quarterback there by Pat. And now it'll be 4th down.
Yeah, that pass could have been completed. Aggies were in zone coverage, and Mosteller did a good job of running the curl pattern. But again, Quinn, who's only a sophomore, you got to realize, you look at a sophomore quarterback, Greg, and a big sophomore who just didn't quite deliver that in the right way.
Obviously back to punt. Mickens is back at the 10, but I would imagine he's either going to try to head for the sidelines with it or not let Mickens return it. Let's see. Yeah, that's the option. It's going to go end zone style. There's a flag down, however, as a couple of guys are battling over around the 10-yard line. There is a flag thrown. I'm not sure if that was what it was for or not, but there is a flag on the far side of the field. And our referee, Bud Alexander, will go check it out. Field judge is Billy Walters. Other officials, the umpire, Charles Erickson, there's the call. And it's against the punting team. Well, that's going to make it a better punt, isn't it?
Yeah, that was on the cover man trying to come down to the outside. I think he reached out trying to get rid of the defensive back that was attempting to block him, Greg, and I think he inadvertently grabbed the face mask.
Now they're explaining it to the Aggies as Pulley comes on the field. I believe they're simply explaining what that means in relationship to when the penalty took place and what it has to do with.
Well, what they were really trying to say, do you want the option of going back and punting the ball again and taking the penalty, or take the ball?
Yeah, they just declined the penalty.
They declined the penalty, basically. If they'd taken a penalty, they had to go back and re-kick.
So Pulley will come out, start his team from the 20-yard line. Now, we might add, in some games, you go ahead and have them re-kick it, but in this game where it's 28-0, you just take it at the 20. Fake pitch flip out, and it could have been picked off. Incomplete. Intended for Connell, but the defensive back, Cedric Stigall, was right there. And Stigall has 3 interceptions this year. You can see why. He closed on it pretty well. There you see a statistic that's interesting only because of the fact McElroy has moved 2 spots in one day. He started 6th. Now he's 4th. As the ball gets up to the 25-yard line. He got a few more, didn't he? Got about 5 or so more. Barnes and White teaming up on the tackle. You say McElroy has had just 3 100-plus yard games, but he's averaging 110 yards a game because 2 of those 3 were big ones, 229 and 168, and the ones that were under 100, most of them are pretty close. Passes, well, it's going to be incomplete. It was in and out of the hands. Stigall was right there. It was almost picked off by the linebacker as he was jumping high in the air. Then it was knocked loose, so it'll be 4th down.
Well, it was a good series for Middle Tennessee. Defensively, they came out and defended 2 good pass plays and held McElroy to 5 yards on a run. That's a good series for Middle Tennessee.
They've held the Aggies on a couple of series, but they've not really seriously threatened to score themselves. A fair catch called by Mostiller, and it'll be spotted at about the 26-yard line. That's where Middle Tennessee State will have the football with 3:40 to play in the first period. Texas A&M leading 28-0. The Aggies scored basically every 2 minutes the first 4 times they got touchdowns. It took about 2 minutes apiece. Since the 8:05 mark, however, they have been held off the board, and now Middle Tennessee State will see what it can do with the ball being put in play right at the 27-yard line. Long count at the line of scrimmage. Lyons tries to cut outside, and there's a flag down, but he's run down by Reggie Brown. There was a flag drawn right before the tackle. Trent Driver also in on that play. Reggie Brown's had a strong game. 6'2", 232. And it's an offside, so wipe that play down, give him 5 yards, and start over.
Well, once again, the Aggies are running some inside blitzes and trying to control those gaps inside. And when Middle Tennessee tries to get the outside, why Brown just sitting out there and in good position to make the plays. And that's his responsibility, to keep it contained and force it back into the inside if he can't make the tackle. And so far, of course, Reggie Brown's a great linebacker, 6'2", 232-pound senior. He's one of the top, maybe one of the top 10 linebackers in the country this year, and certainly will be drafted by the pros.
Can't coach speed, huh, Coach?
No, he's got, and plus 232 is not little. I mean, he's got both. 1st and 5. Oops, Lyons slips on the turf and is down. By the way, this turf doesn't have long to live, does it, Bucky? Edward Jasper making the tackle. This turf will be gone in a month.
Bucky, you've been at A&M, of course, and this always has great linebackers. Who are the great linebackers that made you look good? I mean, they got the ball and put you in a position to make all those career rushing yardage and things you made.
The 2 guys that dominated when I was playing here were John Roper and Aaron Wallace, who's now still playing with the Raiders, and Adam Bob and Dana Batiste on the inside. And, of course, William Thomas came in the same year I did, and he's in Philadelphia and just signed another big contract extension. So I've had the privilege to play with some good ones.
A lot of room to throw on the rollout. It is complete just at the sideline, and that's real close to a 1st down. Donovan Greer on the coverage. Mostiller, and he does have the 1st down, just enough. So an 11-yard pickup by Demetric Mostiller from quarterback Jonathan Quinn.
Little fake the draw play to the left. He rolls out to the right on bootleg. Looked like he could have ran the ball right down there. Good catch by Mostiller. Laid out, cut the ball, kept his foot in bounds. Mostiller's a good-looking receiver.
1st down. Lyons keeps the leg drive, but all he does is get back to the line of scrimmage. That was a lot of effort for no gain, because he had to struggle past an awful lot of maroon jerseys.
It's interesting, Greg, what Boots Donnelly did at the beginning of the year with his quarterback situation with Quinn and Shelby Parker. they alternated starts the first 6 weeks, and then Coach Donnelly thought that Quinn was a little bit ahead, and he said, well, let's get this guy some playing time and let him hang in there and play the whole game. And rightfully so. The kid looks good. He's got a great arm, and he likes to throw the deep ball.
Only a sophomore, too.
And only a sophomore.
He's a transfer from Tulane, where he wasn't playing. Of course, as I said earlier, he was a tight end. Lions struggles forward, and another tough effort for only a couple of yards. It'll be third down. And Philip Myers. Call for Philip Myers, the linebacker from Galveston Ball.
Don't use that kind of advertising. You're not allowed to do that, Greg.
Who's advertising? What's Philip Myers? Anyway, it's not Philip Myers anyway. 28-0.
That time the play was successful. Quinn had some protection, had the opportunity to get the ball. But now the third down and 8 situation. Watch that Aggie defensive line get after him.
Quinn saying, help me out, guys. Flag. Could be offside again, and they hope so. So does Middle Tennessee State, because they couldn't complete the play, but it looked like the left side, someone on the left side defensively jumped over.
No question. Left defensive end was offside.
Offside. Defense.
That's still not enough to give them a first down. It'll be third and maybe a couple. Minute 26 to go in the first quarter. 28-0 A&M. The Aggies win this. Their overall record goes to 7-2. And of course, this is the final game of the year for Middle Tennessee State. At this point, they're headed toward a 7-4 mark. Third down and 2.
They had a good season, a 7-3 record. They play some tough people. Eastern Kentucky over in that OVC conference. That's a good conference. Murray State had a great year over there.
Here they come again. Short drop, floats it out. No chance. That was a wrestling match. It was like, I'll throw it here, you be there. And Ray Mickens wasn't going to let that receiver, Mostiller, be there. So it's a fourth down. I think one thing that's evident on that Mostiller-Mickens matchup is they match each other for speed. And I don't imagine during the season a lot of teams that played Middle Tennessee State had defensive backs that could match Mostiller.
Yeah, Mostiller had 5 touchdown passes during the his longest game was only 30 yards. No, I'll take that back. He had 30 receptions. His longest game was 98-yarder.
Yeah, that's a couple weeks ago. 2 weeks last week. High punt. And Mickens will call for a fair catch right around the 14-yard line. With a minute 15 to go in the first period, the ball changes hands as Texas A&M gets it back in a 28-0 lead.
I'll tell you something, Greg, kind of incredible. We got a minute and 15 seconds to go. This is the A&M 6th possession in the first half. Middle Tennessee State has had 6 possessions. That's 12 possessions in 1 quarter of football. That's really a huge number.
It really is, of course. And really only the one, 2 interceptions. That'll turn it over quicker. 3 interceptions, actually. There's a give inside. Not much of a gain there by Mark Broyles, the John Tyler freshman fullback.
Well, Broyles, I'm going to tell you, I saw him in the state final game last year. He put on quite an exhibition. He reminded me of a younger Earl Campbell. I think he's going to be a great fullback in the future here for the Aggies. He's 5'11", 235-pound freshman, has decent hands. He can do a lot of things.
Second down and 5. I've seen that little slide step before this week. It doesn't work. There's no room there for McElroy as White comes through from his linebacker position daily. Chris moved up. He started the season backing up Claybrook at middle linebacker, and then Claybrook was moved over to the outside, and White became a starter, the sophomore from Murfreesboro. 74 tackles coming into this game. 3rd and 11. And we're going to be at the end of the first quarter now. First quarter in the books. Texas A&M 28. Middle Tennessee State University nothing.
The Lawyers of San Antonio wish to recognize and encourage individuals and organizations working for peace in our communities. We're asking you to join us in honoring these individuals and organizations who are trying to build the foundations for peace, justice, tolerance, and mutual understanding at a dinner on December 1st at the Marriott River Center. Proceeds from the event will be used to fund and coordinate conflict resolution programs throughout our community. For ticket information, contact the San Antonio Bar Foundation, 227-8822.
The San Antonio Symphony presents our all-new production featuring Ballet Met's San Antonio debut. The Nutcracker. Live the enchantment on Thanksgiving weekend. Ballet Met's The Nutcracker, Tchaikovsky's holiday tradition. Bring your whole family. For tickets, call now. The symphony is for you.
Circling Kyle Field, a plane not supporting the Aggies, but talking about marriage. That's a message from Kyle Moss, who's a Texas A&M graduate, but is living in Nashville, Tennessee, and came here kind of to support the Blue Raiders, but also to find out if Jeannie would marry him. It's kind of hard to tell around here, guys, because with all the scoring that's going on, with the Aggie tradition of kissing your date, who knows if Kyle got lucky or not. We'll keep the search up.
Well, that guy got lucky. What's his name?
Hollifield got lucky. I don't know whether Kyle did or not. He's doing better than Bucky and I are doing.
That looked like a kiss on cue to me. I'm just not so sure. But you're right. They've done a lot of kissing here, and now they got a long way to go if they want to do some more. There's a flag. The Aggies are going into saw varsity's horns off, which is, of course, well, it stopped, so we can't get a shot of it here. We'll do it later.
Both start. Offense.
5 yards back against Texas A&M. And there have been some, you talk about keeping your concentration if you're the team behind 28-0. Certainly the same holds true for the Aggies after their 4th touchdown. They haven't played particularly well on the offense.
Yeah, when you're head 28-0, you don't have to play particularly well. They're great.
No, you do it. Now that came from a coach. I'm amazed.
They never say that on the sidelines. Yeah. I can promise you.
It's complete for the first down. Connell has had a bit. Ball's loose, and they're marking it like it's a fumble. Let's see. It was complete, and it was a fumble, and was recovered by the Blue Raiders. Gary Barnes, let's take a look at it and double check it.
Here, Corey stays in the pocket great, throws an absolutely perfect pass. Now all you got to do as a receiver is get down, protect the ball. It's a first down. Albert Connell coughs it up there. Yeah, you got to give the secondary credit there. They jerked the ball loose. And
Barnes did them both.
Good play by number 20, Jeremy McMurray there.
Yeah, and Barnes, who knocked the ball and helped grab it. Those two teaming up, and now it's the best position ever for Quinn and his football team, and that ball is short. Perhaps the arm knocked, and it'll be a second down. Typale McMullen there, but the ball was looked like the arm was hit just a little bit. There's Boots getting some, I guess you call that instruction out to his quarterback. Let's look at it again.
Now the offensive line did a great job for Middle Tennessee safety. Good protection, got the tight end open. Quinn a little bit gun shy now because of all the pressure. Didn't step into that pass. He kind of threw that pass falling away, anticipating people would be in his face. He's got to continue to step into it. He could have drilled out and maybe had a good completion.
You know, when I first saw the pass, I thought his arm was hit because it was such a funny looking pass, but he just didn't throw it well. It's second down. Look out. Flag from the backfield, way back in the...
Probably the 25-second clock expired, would be my guess.
Delay of the game.
He was looking at it, yep. That's the field judge. He was in the right side of the defensive backfield, so they'll move it back 5 yards.
And, Coach, that's where being a sophomore with Quinn, I would think, would play a part. He's young. His feet are a little bit nervous feet, and the older he gets, the more confident he'll get to stay in the pocket like that.
One thing you can't, Bucky, is experience, and you know that from having played. You know, the coaches can give you the plays, give you the read, but they can't give you that experience with people in your face.
Here comes the face. Down goes the quarterback, Larry Walker again.
Now we see why Coach has got nervous feet. He's been getting blitzed all day long and hadn't had much protection, and when he does get protection, his feet might be a little antsy.
Well, I think the other thing that's happening also, I think A&M is kind of timing up his cadence snap. As you know, you get in the habit of going on the second count all the time. Those defenses start taking advantage. Well, he didn't have a chance. I mean, this was timed up so well by Walker. I mean, when the ball was snapped, he was going back almost like he was the quarterback setting up. But you got to vary that cadence. But on the other hand, when you vary your cadence, your offensive line really has to concentrate.
Have to get it inside the 20-yard line to keep the drive alive. It's a 3rd down and 22. Lyons has nowhere to go, and he loses a yard. It'll be 4th down back at the 42-yard line. Brigham Lyons brought down by Keith Mitchell and Jasper.
And that's the great thing about this Wrecking Crew defense. The offense makes a mistake, but A&M defense is so good that they can overcome that mistake. And now all of a sudden, Middle Tennessee, that had a turnover, they had the ball on the 20-yard and 9-yard line. They're now 4th down, back on the 42 or 43-yard, having to punt the ball.
And the punt is headed toward the end zone, and it will be there. And the Aggies will bring it out to the 20. By the way, we just received the word that the 28 points the Aggies scored in the first period tied a club record for them, which was set last done back in '93 against Missouri. We'll take a break and be back. 28-0 A&M over Middle Tennessee State.
Time to lure yourself away to the outdoors. Fishing, hunting, and adventures in the wild are what await you as Prime Sports brings home the best in outdoor television. Catch the big one with a variety of shows that give the insights you need and the places to be. If hunting is your game, then Prime Sports bags the limit. Outdoor adventures and the best in big game hunting. It's a sportsman dream outing here on Prime Sports. Friday morning starting at 9:30 on Prime Sports. Glove versus glove. Heart against heart. Man opposing man. 2 enter the ring. One lives a dream, the other a nightmare. Prime Championship Boxing. Gladiators endure the siege to prove who has the quickness, power, and heart to be the true champion. Prime Championship Boxing. Prime Championship Boxing. Next Monday, live on Prime Sports.
Who has the most talent in the Western Conference? It's just the difference between the Mavs and the Mav-Nots. The Nuggets and the Mavericks, Friday at 7:30, live on Prime Sports.
It is 28-0, A&M leading with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Don't forget, tonight at 9 and midnight, it's the big show on Press Box. Don't miss all the scores and highlights from the NBA, NHL, college football, and the whole story on the Houston Oilers move. It's more than a game, it's Press Box. That ball is complete. I'm laughing because our copywriter has them moving to Memphis.
Well, that's close. Memphis has been trying to get a pro football team for years. I mean, that's where they probably should be going because Memphis has tried for years to get one. The folks in Nashville, the Johnny-come-latelys, Memphis has the stadium. Memphis, I don't know whether Memphis was able to get that $65 million from the state legislation that Nashville's apparently going to get. So imagine politically-wise in Tennessee right now, Greg, folks in Memphis might not be too happy with this Nashville situation.
Well, it's an interesting story. I know from both ends of our audience here that those that are watching in Texas and those that are watching in Tennessee are interested on that. Let's go back down to the sidelines now and Bill Land. Bill?
Thanks, Greg. Part of the pregame activities today honored the 1985 Aggies that were Southwest Conference champions. I'm glad to have with me Kip Corrington, who was an outstanding secondary man for, well, I guess, 84 through 87. Kip, good to see you again. When you come to Texas A&M, now you're here back working on a doctorate, is that correct?
I'm in medical school here.
I know you spent a couple of years in the pros with the Denver Broncos. Right. Fill us in from that time till now.
After I came back home, this is where my family's from, and I started working on a doctorate, and I decided that wasn't for me, and I'm in medical school now.
What's it like sitting up in the stands as compared to being down on the field on a day like today?
You know, I don't miss it playing usually, but when you get down close to the field and you hear the pads cracking, you kind of miss it.
Do you have a particular special memory of your days as an Aggie?
Definitely the 85 year. Today all the guys got together for this game, and that was a special year because it was the first time in a long time A&M had been to the Cotton Bowl. We won it that year, and we beat Texas here for the first time in a long time that year. So that's a special memory I had.
Thanks very much. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Greg, thank you very much. Another one of the greats of the past. I don't know, Greg. Does that still apply to quarterbacks, though? The pads cracking as it does for defensive.
Well, you got to remember, Kip was a free safety, so he was the one doing all the cracking, and the quarterback were receiving that stuff. But I was fortunate enough to play with Kip, and the guy was a great player, a great student. I think he made 1B his whole stay here at A&M, and he was a special guy to be around, and it's good to see him back.
Are you saying defensive players are smarter than offensive players, Bucky? I mean,
Kip Corings is probably the smartest defensive player to ever put on headgear.
Pulick rolling out, trying to dodge his way past, and he said, "Oh, Mr. McCord." Now, Anthony at that moment looked a lot bigger than his listed 230 because he looked a lot bigger to Corey, I'm sure.
Well, McCord's probably their best defensive player. He's the best athlete. He makes a lot of big plays for him, and this is something that Corey doesn't usually do a whole lot of, running. And as you can see here, he's a little bit rusty, and good decision. Nobody's open. Hey, tuck it, get what you can get, but get down. We don't need to get you hurt now.
Yeah, McCord got him down. It's a 3rd and 8. That'll be short of the first down. Picked up about 5. Jay Moore on the tackle. There you see Connell. He's had a number of receptions primarily early in the game. He was very active, and now it's 4th down, so the offense doesn't get it done again. Reveille just taking it all in. This Reveille actually looks like she really enjoys watching the game. Some of them in the past have liked to bark more instead of sit there and watch.
There's some good-looking Aggie co-eds down there. Dogs looking at.
That may be too. That ball is going to go into the end zone, and it'll come back out where it'll be on the 20-yard line. Put in play there on the 20-yard line is really, there's no question what Middle Tennessee State needs the next 248, and that would mean this drive is somehow to get one in the end zone. And actually, I think maybe to a certain extent that wouldn't even hurt the Aggies, because that would certainly wake them up if in fact they have gone stale, and they haven't scored since 8:05 in the first quarter. They did all their scoring in the first quarter.
Well, the best thing Middle Tennessee can do right now is move the football and even hold it this last 2:48 minutes, even if they don't score. Give them a little confidence going into the locker room at halftime. They're not going to get it inside that way.
That was McGill again, and he got nothing. Right at the line of scrimmage, he was met by a whole host of maroon shirts. Pat Williams in there, Larry Walker in there. You can name a bunch of Dot Win.
And this could very well be a situation where the Aggies ought to put a lot of those backup offensive linemen and backup folks in there to play, Greg, and give them the opportunity. They've got to be hungry. They want to play a little bit. That might shake things up for them.
Well, the one thing that's hurt the Aggies this year in continuing the strength of the club, let's say even into next year, is the fact they've played so many games that have been fairly close, and they have not been able to play the backups as much as you'd like. That's incomplete. There's lots of pressure. A near sack again by Reggie Brown. He was right in Quinn's face. And it's 3rd down. You know, a lot of times teams that win those big margin scores, they come back the next year and they say, well, we lost 16 starters. But that's misnomer, because all their backups played a lot. Well, in this case with the Aggies, that hasn't necessarily been true. The backups haven't gotten to play a lot because games have been close.
But again, a two-sided coin there again with this young offensive line with the 3 sophomores and a junior, and they've got Leland Knackel is actually a junior. He's going to have a tough decision from the standpoint of coming out or staying in school. Artem and Parker have been getting a fair amount of play.
Hostetter complete across midfield to about the 44-yard line. Donovan Greer on the tackle. And that is a 1st down, and that's one of the plays that Middle Tennessee State needs to see if they can close strong here.
Well, he's got plenty of time. There's a protection. Lays it out there. Now this time they go against Greer, the defensive back, not against Mickens. Greer doesn't close quite as fast and quite as quick as Mickens normally will. And that's well executed by Middle Tennessee State. Their best play of the game.
Now we'll see what happens on first down at the Aggie 42-yard line. And it looks like they're threatening to shoot some gaps here. Now they drop back. Doesn't matter. Into the grasp of Pat Williams. Pat Williams, 275-pound junior from Monroe, Louisiana, transfer from Northeastern Oklahoma. In on that tackle. He's been playing a lot in this game and made some stops. Loss of about 5. Clock ticks away. That's how much time is left in the first half. It's 28-0 Texas A&M. On a couple of other occasions, Middle Tennessee State has had the ball in. Well, there's a jump. Now Jasper goes into Bean. Did Bean flinch? We'll wait.
I think this is on the defense. I'd be surprised if that's on the offense.
Offside, defense, 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Well, that gets the 5 at back +1 of the sack.
In talking with Coach Slocum yesterday, he's really pleased the way this defensive line has come on with Mitchell and Jasper and Big Pat Williams. They've really picked up their level of play and playing really good right now.
Talk about some Bucky drive coaches crazy. When a nose guard jumps offside, absolutely you go bananas because the ball can't be any closer to you than right in front. Why do you jump offside? The ball hasn't moved.
Enough time, and a throw that was grounded short of the receiver. Pressure put on by Pat Williams, but a little bit of time standing back in the pocket. It'll be incomplete, and it will be now 3rd and 9.
I think this Jonathan Quinn's a pretty good looking quarterback. Right there you saw he's had some antsy feet, but he was flat-footed on that play, standing in the pocket. He can throw the long ball. He loves to throw the long ball, and I think he throws it fairly well. And he's a promising young quarterback, huh, Coach?
Yeah, I believe so. And also he's faced some pressure defense that he hadn't faced before in his career.
Oh, may have been tipped, incomplete, 4th down. Dotton Wynn looked like he got a hand on it. Now with 28 seconds left, 4th down, you figure they're going to go ahead and give it a shot.
You see him coming right into you. There's the pressure, comes completely free. Left guard blocks one way. Linebacker delayed a second or two before he came. Once the hole opened up, he came and put the pressure, and that causes a lot of incompletions for those linebackers coming up into your face.
Story about Dot in one of the newspapers today. Got the restaurant his folks run. On 4th down, a first down, and out of bounds to stop it. Donovan Greer made the tackle on Labrian McGill, but it was McGill, the 5'8", 175-pounder, who on 4th and 9 runs for the first down.
Well, they did a good job. Good block down there. Good lead block by Reggie Parks, the fullback. Might have caught a little bit more than he gave on that block, but it took the defensive man out of the play and opened it up for McGill.
Clock stopped. They got closer. 23 seconds left in the period. There's McGill. Now you got to figure throwing. Of course, the Aggies figure we're going to get the quarterback. Look at him. Here they get ready to come again.
They're going to go in the end zone.
Short drop to the end zone. It is Mostiller, and no foul. Incomplete pass. Andre Williams was there. And that just stops the clock with 18 seconds.
There's a flag on the play.
But there's a flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Lineman downfield. Maybe he audibled that pass play because they were both cornerbacks came up, got on in the face of the wide receivers. He may have audible. Might have been a running play or something else was called earlier.
Yeah.
Take him back out of field goal range.
Big Pat Williams says, "Yeah, we'll move him back." He's only got 18 seconds. Yards are more important than
ineligible receiver downfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Luke Donnelly says, how can a lineman be downfield on a pass where we take a 3-step drop and throw it to the end zone?
He's got faster linemen than he thought he had,
Well, either that or one of them might be too smart, didn't pick up the audible.
1st and 15. Top of the screen wide is Walker. Mosteller wide to the near side. And where's this whistle for? That's a field judge. He maybe something to do with the clock, maybe.
Yeah, I don't think they gave him the correct 25-second count.
Now it starts. Hosteler again, wide to the near side, top of the screen. Toby Walker, you got to be aware of them because they figure to be the receivers primarily involved on what we would expect to be a pass play. Here comes the defense. Quick release floater toward the end zone, and there's nobody in the middle. Now that was the one area there was nobody going. I'm kind of surprised about that one. Pressure on the quarterback by Walker. He had to get rid of it, but I'm surprised getting rid of it was in the middle of the field where he surely knew there was nobody.
Might have been anticipating the tight end going down to there, though, Greg.
Yeah, it looked like there was a little confusion by the tight end where he broke it out at about 10 yards, and I think Quinn was thinking that he was going to break off the post route, and just a little miscommunication there.
So it'll be still 15 yards needed, but second down, and that's not as important as the fact that actually here's something important. We're down to 6 seconds on the play clock, and they are just now getting up to the line of scrimmage, and they are not going to make it. Didn't make it. Boy, those hurt.
That's pretty quick 25-second count. I don't think they gave him a chance to opportunity to get back into the huddle that time, Greg. I think the clock operator gave him a real quick 25-second count.
That may be what the argument here is.
I think that's what Boots is complaining. He complained to play before about the same situation.
So it's second down and 20 with 13 seconds.
Well, I know I got Southwest Conference official in this game, but they give us a fair 25-second count anyway.
Coming from the outside, it's fumble, loose ball. Pat Williams has it. Pat Williams is headed to the end zone. Pat Williams is in the end zone with a touchdown. Keith Mitchell put a lot of pressure on, and Pat Williams picked it up. I was looking at it carefully to see if that was going to be considered an incomplete pass, but it was not. With 2 seconds left in the first half, Williams goes 48 yards with the recovered fumble. And the extra point is good. 2 seconds remaining in the first half, and Williams and his Aggies on top now by a score of 35-0. Let's look at it again.
Well, this is something Pat Williams will talk about for 50 years. I can promise you. A big lineman getting a chance to pick up the ball 50 yards. Everybody can see him. Look, Mom, Dad, I'm going into the end zone.
Well, that's pretty tough. That's pretty tough close call there on the incomplete
pass. What I
pass.
said. I'd like to have seen.
RC's going to look at that one on tape and he's going to say, "Wait a minute!
Yeah, here, this will be a better shot." Now let's see. Oh, come on!
Think it
dropped. Yeah, I guess he's saying it dropped. It fell out of his hand before he made the passing motion. That's, I guess, the only call you can.
Was that the Texas Tech game, Coach, where they didn't give it to him on the touchdown?
Let's see, but does the ball fall out of his hand? It fell out of it when he was drawing it back, so maybe that's a correct call.
It's a fumble. Yep. Until your hand starts to go forward, it's considered a fumble. I think it's a good call.
Yeah, it dropped out while he was pulling it back, and then, of course, he followed through, and that's what made it look like it was an incomplete pass. The officials right on the field.
Those coaches, Greg, are always so critical of the officiating, aren't they?
No.
Even when they retire.
Oh, them poor people over there, Johnson Sports Bar on the square in Murfreesboro, they're chanting SWC official, SWC official.
Well, that time it looked like they were right. That brings us to the end of the first half with the Aggies on top by a score of 35 0-0. They scored the first 28 points before a lot of these people were in their seats. 14:08, 52 seconds into the game. Foley hit Connell on a 61-yard pass and run, and it was 7-0. And then McElroy went 58 yards 2 minutes later, 14-0, and the Aggies have not looked back. We'll be back. Our halftime activities are coming up with Texas A&M leading 35-0 against Middle Tennessee State.
The Reptile Rumble continues.
Paragon Cable invites you to join us at the Ice House November 24th when the San Antonio Iguanas face off against the Oklahoma City Blazers. To celebrate the Iguanas' second season in the Alamo City, Paragon Cable presents Value Nights. Just take your Paragon Cable bill to the Coliseum box office November 24th for $2 off the ticket price. That's right, a $2 savings on every ticket.
See us in action. This year, the cup is ours.
Hello, my name is Ed Goldner. In the past 5 years, I've helped hundreds of San Antonians who've been injured in car accidents. Before that, I served our country in the U.S. Air Force for 10 years, where I was recognized as one of their top trial lawyers. If you've been injured in a car accident, you need an experienced lawyer immediately. We'll move swiftly and aggressively to get you as much relief as we can, as quickly as we can. Give us a call at 923-1234. The phone call and the first appointment are free.
Introducing SpeedBit, the revolutionary new bit that drills through practically everything. SpeedBit drills wood quickly and easily, even hardwoods like this baseball bat. The same SpeedBit drills tough metal, like this hard steel hammer. Look again, the same bit bores right through brick and other masonry. The secret is SpeedBit's super hard carbide tip. It cuts through the hardest surface, while special side blades twist out debris at rotary speeds. Try brick with an ordinary wood or metal bit. SpeedBit bores through. Now separate bits for wood, metal, and masonry are obsolete. SpeedBit cuts through ceramic tile, even plaster walls, door frames, patio block, and brick. Even this tough car bumper won't stop SpeedBit. Save the cost of this $5 masonry bit and the cost of this $2 wood bit. Save on this expensive $8 metal bit. One SpeedBit does the job of $15 worth of ordinary bits. You get 7 SpeedBits in the sizes you need most. Our unconditional money-back guarantee, and if you order now, we'll include the amazing TV wrench. Its unique ratchet-like head adjusts automatically to the right size. It beats old-fashioned wrenches hands down. It's yours to keep, just for trying SpeedBits.
Call 1-800-592-1222 or save COD charges. Send $12.98 to SpeedBits, 320 Main Street, Department 2, Northport, New York, 11768. You get 7 SpeedBits in the sizes. Plus our money-back guarantee that lets you keep the amazing TV wrench if not delighted. Call 1-800-592-1222.
It is 35-0 at the half. Texas A&M leading Middle Tennessee State, as we're going to shift our focus a little bit to something that's coming up this weekend over in Houston at the University of Houston. That's the Southwest Conference Volleyball Tournament, the final tournament. And one of the favorites to make it to the championship round and meet the big rival Texas is Texas A&M. Lori Corbelli is the head coach. You have had, if in fact it gets that way, and we must quickly point out, both Texas A&M and Texas would have to win a game before they could get to that rematch. If in fact it gets to that, that rivalry's been great for many, many years, and it certainly won't any better than it was this year on the volleyball court. Those games were close.
They're very, very close games. We match up really well, and the different types of systems that we have are very well matched. We're a real balanced team offensively. They mostly go to a couple of hitters, but they're very, very strong hitters, and so it's really a lot of fun. Both coaches always anticipate 5 games.
Well, that happened to you in the one that we had on Prime Sports, the one that I know you probably lost sleep over because you had a couple of game advantage, and it got to that rally. And once you get to the rally, all bets are off. Anybody can win then. Yeah,
rally scoring has been interesting. I'm kind of from the old school. I like sighting out, and it's been relatively new for the last 5 years, but it's becoming the way it needs to get on television, to shorten our matches a little bit, and the crowd seem to love it. Just the anticipation, not knowing. It's a lot about momentum and not as much about strategy.
Last year, of course, Houston broke the stranglehold that Texas had on the volleyball championships, and this year we have a chance again to have the two big rivals go at it in the finals if you both win your first matches. And as I say, we wish you a lot of luck. And hopefully we see you on Monday on our telecast, which will be shown on Tuesday. But if not, you've had a great year, and I know you'll continue on.
Yeah, we're really excited. It's really hard for me to keep my team toned down right now. This is what they've been waiting for, and they are having great practices. They're very enthusiastic, especially our seniors. They're ready for a ring, and they want a championship, and they want to go on and do very, very well at the NCAAs.
Well, good luck this weekend over in Houston, and perhaps we'll see you. Let me remind everyone that you can see the delayed broadcast of Monday's Southwest Conference Volleyball Championship this Tuesday on Prime Sports at 12 noon and again at 10:30 that evening. Lori Corbelli, thanks a lot. Good luck. And we'll continue at halftime with John David Crow after this timeout.
Discover the amazing training secrets of America's finest baseball school with Dynamic Practice Organization, a revolutionary new instructional videotape. Dynamic Practice Organization features professional scout and instructor Tommy Mansky with his famous building block approach to athletic training. This exciting instructional videotape features the same drills, techniques, and methods that have produced baseball world's back-to-back-to-back AAU national championship teams. Dynamic Practice Organization makes any coach look like a genius and organizes offensive and defensive practices that players of all ages and ability levels can't wait to attend. And immensely improves team communication skills and even conditioning. This is the instructional video that's a winner. To order your copy for only $29.95, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-592-1222. The Dynamic Practice Organization teaching video makes a great gift, too. Call now 1-800-592-1222.
I ended up not even applying anywhere else besides Texas A&M because from visiting the campus throughout my involvement in the FFA, it really was the only place that I wanted to go.
You know, you may have your group of friends, but you always know that the 43,000 other students and the thousands of former students and even future students are truly part of your family.
In my mind, there's no other place that really exudes the type of spirit and tradition that Texas A&M does.
Texas A&M University, shaping the future since 1876.
Gentlemen, start your engines!
So few chances to enjoy the fruit of victory. So many ways to lose. Prime Racing. 5 major series that take you from the pole to the parade lap. Prime Racing. It's not just a display of power and precision by a batch of cherries. It's also the pits.
We're coming right to the line. This is going to be close. Bam!
Prime Racing. All season on Prime Sports.
Football. Noun. A field game played with an inflated leather ball.
See Cable. The NFL Gridiron Gladiators are giving it all they've got. Football's best are going helmet to helmet and dishing it out. Get rocked with a new season of NFL football on ESPN. The big plays are on Cable.
Our value show.
On Paragon Cable.
Looking to fix up your home? A&E has the perfect solution. America's favorite TV handyman, Bob Vila, and a team of carpenters, landscapers, electricians, and interior decorators provide the nuts and bolts to make your next renovation an easy job. Bob Vila's Home Again.
Bob Vila's Home Again is brought to you locally by Homerama.
Do you need a new kitchen or bath? Then it's time to see the cabinet people at Homerama on 9815 Broadway.
I want to be governor of Texas.
Governor of Texas. Governor of Texas. Governor of Texas. Governor of Texas. Governor of Texas. Governor of Colorado. Well, 5 out of 6 isn't bad. At the schools of the Southwest Conference, higher education turns dreams into reality.
Halftime continues. We'll have the second half kickoff in a moment. But first, let's take a look at some of the halftime statistics. And first of all, some of the highlights. This was only 52 seconds into the game. Third play, Polig DeConnell. You'd never known that was going to go 61 yards, did you?
Absolutely not. Third play of the game. Albert Connell makes a great individual effort, breaking tackles for the long touchdown pass there.
That, of course, got the Aggies on top 7-0. And then after stopping Middle Tennessee State on their first offensive series, after that enthusiastic first touchdown, Well, it didn't take long. This was at 12:14 of the first quarter. McElroy got loose.
Just a quick pitch to McElroy. Turns it out. Made a couple tacklers miss their blocks, and he takes it 58 yards into the end zone. Just a very easy jaunt for McElroy to take that first touchdown in.
The offense looked very good there. Quick touchdowns, but the defense got involved. Again, about 2 minutes later, Reggie Brown off the tip from Keith Mitchell.
Reggie Brown in the right place at the right time. Easy interception, even easier touchdown. Good play for the Wrecking Crew.
So now it's 21-0. It got to be 28-0, and actually it was that at this point when Middle Tennessee's quarterback teamed up Jonathan Quinn with Mostiller, his top receiver, for a long game. This was really the offensive highlight, to be honest. There was a kickoff return that was well done by Lyons early, but that was it. And here's the statistical story. Negative rushing yards for Middle Tennessee State. Just a few passing yards. Total domination by the Aggies.
Well, of course, the big stat there and a big key in a football game so is the 4 turnovers. Obviously, the Aggies have dominated with 298 yards of total offense to the 48, but 4 turnovers, and 2 of those turnovers were returned for touchdowns. Interception by Brown for the touchdown, and a fumble recovered by the defensive lineman Williams that went 48 yards for the touchdown. So those 4 turnovers translate really into almost 21 points of scoring points for the Aggies.
And even though it's a dominating 35-0 score, there was a point when head coach R.C. Slocum had to pull the offensive unit together, and he did not kindly speak to them. He was a bit upset with the perhaps lack of concentration as the Aggies scored the first 28 points very quickly in the game, and then it didn't occur that they scored the other touchdown until 2 seconds were left. And that, of course, was a defensive play. But the Aggies with a 35-0 lead.
Well, they went 5 possessions after they had those 28 points, and they really punted, a fumble off a pass completion, a missed field goal, and 2 more punts. And at that stage, R.C. was a little frustrated with his football team.
You saw the team statistics individually. McElroy is 97 yards, 2 touchdowns. Hardiman 23 yards on 1 carry. Broyle's the only other running back with yardage. He has 5. Jonathan Quinn 6 for 18 passing and 71 yards. He had a longest of 36. Pulig on the other side was 10 for 19 with 173 yards. His longest was the 61-yard touchdown. There you see his numbers. And receiving, Connell caught 5 for 97 yards. McElroy 1 for 28. Sanders 2 for 24. Mostiller 3 for 63 yards on the other side, with Lyons catching 2 for 5. Lyons, by the way, rushed for 11 yards. At least he was positive. McGill 25 yards. That was positive. Quinn, that's why they're in the negative column. They've been sacked so much. 59 yards in losses.
Coach, if you're R.C. Slocum, how long do you play your starters from here on out? Do you start them the second half, let them get some momentum going, maybe get another touchdown drive, and then start implementing your backup players, or what? How do you handle that?
Well, that's what you normally would like to think would happen from a coaching standpoint. You want to come out in this third quarter, set the stage. Offensively, if you can take it on your first drive and go down and put some more points on the board, you feel like, well, your offense has got things under control, allow you to play a lot of your backup. Well, I think there's still a point with this football team. R.C. doesn't have complete confidence in the chemistry and the way they're doing things, so he may play a little bit more than you might anticipate in a normal blowout game.
Lyons on the kickoff return, and he was smacked down by Chris Cullen at just about the 15-yard line.
I think we're going to be able to hear, as Kip was saying, the leather cracking at halftime.
Were you ever in on those kickoff coverage teams, Bucky? Were you the 12th man or anything like that? Here?
Not here, but for some reason, when I got to the NFL, they thought I could do all that stuff, and I ended up almost breaking my back in half a few times.
Now we've had a quarterback change, as you can see. That's Shelby Parker. He's going to see what he can do to start the second half. As Bucky mentioned earlier this year, quarterbacks were alternating game by game, depending on trying to find one. And Quinn won the job, and after a first half, which had negative yardage, Parker will try his hand.
Well, I don't think Jonathan Quinn should be real upset about this. He really hadn't had much time, and he's obviously outmanned, or Middle Tennessee's offensive line is outmanned by A&M defense, and I wouldn't get too discouraged if I was Jonathan Quinn.
Shelby's a freshman from Fayetteville, Tennessee. On second down, Mostiller can't get to it. That was That would have been what you call a completable pass because there was a lane to throw it in. Typale McMullen was on the coverage. 3rd down.
Of course, it's a two-headed sword when you change quarterbacks like this. You can look at this one way and say, well, Quinn looked at all these rushes and all these blitzes the first half. He may be a little bit more ready for them. Now you're putting a freshman in Parker who's going to have to go maybe through some of the same feelings and experiences that Quinn had the first half. So sometimes you're darned if you do and darned if you don't from a coach's standpoint when you make a switch like this.
Usually in the pros, the fans are yelling for you to make a switch like this. But it's a little different. That ball may have been deflected or tipped, and it's incomplete. It'll be 4th down. They'll have to punt from deep in their own territory, so watch out here.
Well, unfortunately, in this case, the quarterbacks have been switched, but some of the offensive linemen are still the same players up there that are not moving their feet, not sliding, and not getting in front of those defensive rush linemen. So the results right now in these first 3 plays and out for Middle Tennessee is the fact that it looks like exactly the same as the first half. Brandon
Thomas will get the kick away from about his own 5-yard line. Mickens will be about the 50, but he's got to back up. Well, that's not Mickens. That's Hawkins back. Hawkins takes it at the 35, at the 40. Says, oops. That's about it. He gets the 44-yard line. Dante Hawkins, and it'll be 1st down for the Aggies at that point. We'll check to see exactly what sort of a offensive lineup comes out. Well, running backfield is the regular, and so is the quarterback. So no changes, at least to start that. Pulley, Detron Smith, and Leland McElroy. And the ball is spotted at the 45.5. It'll be 1st down.
Yeah, that was Middle Tennessee's 7th punt of the game. Team record's kind of a negative team record, but the most times they've ever punted in a game was 12.
There's a fake give, play action. Connell is cut off, can't get to it. Good coverage. The defensive back, Barnes, just wouldn't let him get inside to the ball. Barnes was there. He just closed that one off. He pinned Connell to the sideline, and he couldn't get around him.
Just a play action pass. Corey Pulley trying to get a big touchdown early in the second half. Great coverage. You got to give Middle Tennessee credit there. Excellent coverage.
Hawkins goes wide to the top of the screen on 2nd down and 10. Inside receiver and 2 backs and a tight end, and the give is to McElroy. He's hit behind the line and dropped down after a very short gain. Anthony Hicks, the junior from Jackson, Tennessee, the first to make contact. 2nd team All-Ohio Valley Conference a couple years ago. Had some injuries last year. And it's 3rd down and officially 10, just inside 10 yards. Connell will go wide to the top. Hawkins near side from the shotgun. Backside dump, incomplete pass. Got it away just in time before Anthony McCord wrapped up Pulley. And now there's a flag we notice on the field on the far side.
Boy, Hicks timed that up great, though. He was inside. He moved outside at the last second, came rushing from the open side. Pulley didn't know he was coming.
Wipe out the flag. No flag.
As a quarterback, sometimes though, it's better when you don't see that guy coming. Because your body's fairly relaxed. When they're coming front side, you seem to tense up, and it seems to hurt a little bit more. And here, he didn't hit it as hard as he could have, but he does a good job of trying to get rid of the football. A lot of times it's better to get hit from the blind side than the front side.
Well, I think he was anticipating the back. McElroy was going to stay in and pick up that backside rusher.
They're just telling us what we said before, the preliminary signal. Wipe the penalty out. There was no penalty. 4th down.
Inadvertent flag.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
He threw it and he shouldn't. Mosteller back at about the 10-yard line. Slips, picks up the feet. 20, 21, 22-yard line. And Mosteller brings it up, and it will be 1st down there for Middle Tennessee State. The Blue Raiders, named sort of after the Colgate Red Raiders. You say, how's that? Well, Charles Sarver, a football player, he submitted the name Blue Raiders when they were looking for a new name for the school as the mascot. He just changed Red Raiders because he had connections at Colgate.
Well, you're getting deep.
Know that.
Deep into the media guide for this stuff, huh?
Well, Page just happens to be right open in front of him.
And they normally have a horse, right, Greg?
That's right, Tom. They do at home games. And the game, a couple of yards there. Broyles Dot Nguyen making the tackle.
Was the horse? Hey, now that young man there can tell you some George Patton stories right there. I bet he can tell you some stories.
He's probably done them in his book reports. Second down and 9.
He's not allowed to look at Smile. What is his rule for those?
He's trying out to be one of the guards at Buckingham Palace.
Oh. Well, I thought maybe it was Bucky's personal guard.
Second down, 9. High formation. And swinging outside, Barry Lyons, but not far. He got really back to the line of scrimmage. Did a pretty good job of pulling the ankle out, but Andre Williams finally putting the stop on him. And does a pretty good job getting by the first group. Here, look at that.
Well, that first group
out of that.
Miss. Guy's got another wave. Number 2. Well, you miss one, you don't miss 2.
No, that's a lot of gain. It's third down, 9.
One thing about the wrecking crew, they will hit you and they will tattoo you. And they might get excited if they know right now that Texas is only leading TCU by 1 point with about 7 minutes to go in the game.
I'll tell you, that TCU, they can be the spoiler because that's not a bad football team. Almost picked off. In and out of the hands. Allen, All Southwest Conference last year, senior from Hurst Bell, and it'll be 4th down. So Hawkins will come back in to return this punt as you take a look at Boots Donnelly in his 17th year at Middle Tennessee State.
Bucky, what does it mean when they wave those handkerchiefs as well? I always thought that was surrender. I mean, here it's something different, doesn't it?
No, they're trying to tell Middle Tennessee to surrender. A&M is doing exactly what they want to do. Those are wrecking crew towels, 12-man towels.
Oh, okay. Well, I always thought when you waved the flag, that was surrendering. We learned something here.
Not an Aggie tradition. There's Hawkins. Hawkins is 50. He could have made one more cut. He could have made some great yardage. He gets across the 40 to the 39. We'll take a break. 11-14 to go, third. Aggies by 35.
The holidays are approaching, and Prime Sports has some early presents to unwrap this December. The NBA spreads good tidings as the Rockets, Spurs, and Mavs look to light up the Lone Star State. When the frost blows in, hockey comes shining through with the stars a-shooting and the arrows on targets. And from the big things in small packages category, it's the Texas Class 5A Divisions 1 and 2 championships. So count down your shopping days and be merry in December on Prime Sports.
Aggies lead by 35 in the third. Don't forget tomorrow at 9:30 and 6:30, it's the road to playoffs on High School Extra. Nobody goes to more games and shows more highlights of high school football than Craig Way and the Extra. High School Extra tomorrow morning at 9:30 and tomorrow evening at 6:30 on Prime Sports. It's more than a game. And don't forget on Saturday, December 16th and the 23rd of December, the 2 5A championship games. She may be there taking pictures. We will be there taking pictures that move as Prime Sports will have those 2 final games for you.
I didn't realize they make those cameras that big. It looks like a cannon.
Yeah, it does look like a cannon, and she can probably get real close-ups. As McElroy gets across the 30-yard line, looks like about a 10-yard pickup. He's over 100 yards, by the way. He came in the second half with 97. Henley with the tackle. That would be McElroy's 4th 100-yard game of the year. And 2 in a row. He had 2 in a row to start the season, and now he has 2 in a row here. 35-0. Line movement. 5 yards will be tacked on against the Maroons.
Calvin Collins, I believe.
False start. Offense.
There's Bud Alexander, his crew. I didn't finish naming all of the members earlier. Charles Erickson, the umpire. Don Caprell is the head linesman. Line judge Walter Anderson. Field judge Billy Walters. Side judge Ed Nightig. And the back judge Randy McAnally. First down and 15. There you see his total as he is out, and Hardiman is in. That pass underthrown, and third down.
That's one of the things that kind of makes you wonder about the inconsistency of Corey. He was out there wide open. He bounced that one in there, Buck.
Yeah, well, you know, sprinting out like that, Corey Pullig's really not a sprint out type passer, and that was just a poorly thrown pass. I think Corey's looked fairly sharp today, and like you said earlier, Coach, you can't complete them all.
You're just supposed to. It's
you're just expected to.
That's right. Short gain of a couple yards, McElroy. Kelly White on the tackle.
That's why they pay you quarterbacks the millions of dollars that they pay you. You can complete a big percentage of it.
3rd down and 12.
You coaches make a pretty penny too, don't you?
I don't know. I'm retired. Bud's forgetting to send me my checks if we are.
3rd down and 12. Now Hawkins has the ball inside. He's down to the 15-yard line. Barnes on the tackle, but Hawkins picks up a Texas A&M first down to 14-yard line. 18 yards officially on the play.
Well, Corey bounced that last pass, but here under pretty heavy pressure, stays in the pocket, hits his fifth step, gets rid of the ball, throws a perfect pass for a big gain.
I think that's a good-looking freshman receiver, Hawkins, out of round locked.
Aaron Oliver's wide to the top now. The give goes inside, one of those rare carries by Detron Smith. And Clay Brooks and White just kind of pinched him off there. Very little, if any, gain. Detron usually gets his carry or two, and that's about it. He's there to block. Occasionally he'll go out and try to catch a pass, though. Going to call it 2nd and 10. The ball's still at the 14.
Well, but he's a good blocker, though. He's an excellent lead blocker.
Hawkins wide right. Oliver wide left. McElroy wide up the middle. He had a big hole at the line of scrimmage, and then he picked up about another 5 yards. Henley coming in to make the tackle from a free safety position. And it'll be 3rd and about 2. All on the 6-yard line. And that is the score. A&M scoring the first 28 points before you blink. First 7 minutes of the ball game, they had 28 points. Pullig is wrestled down, and he appears to have the first down. Boy, he paid for it. Ryan Chastain was credited officially with the tackle, and they'll spot the ball at the 3, and that will be a 1st and goal.
Here Corey is running like a fullback. He kept his knees up, kept churning those legs, trying to look at the goal line. He finally gets hit pretty good. Good effort by Corey Pullig.
Boy, them quarterbacks think they run like a fullback with head straight up and knees straight up. Now, wait a minute, Bucky. Fullback.
Ball's on the 3.
There you go.
And he's in. There's that.
He says, I can do this.
Not like a fullback, though.
So with 8:12 to go here in the 3rd quarter, and the extra point coming, the Aggies lead at the moment is 41-0 with the extra point to come.
I don't look for the A&M starters to be in there much longer.
I wouldn't think so. I would think he'd want to some of them backup folks and some of the younger folks to give a chance to play a little bit.
Well, is it not already? Is this not Venetoulias who's going to try the extra point? So he's done some kicking this year, but his first PAT of this game, and it's 42-0 as the Aggies score again and lead it 42-0 with 8:12 to play in the game. The 50-45 to the 40, 50-35 to the 30 to the 25.
Oh, an ace! More. Back at Judge scored!
A game. Prime Sports.
At Revelle's Grape. A Bucky, where are we now?
Well, Greg, we're at Reveille Cemetery, where all the previous mascots here at Texas A&M have been buried. It dates back to the first mascot, Reveille 1, back in 1931, when some cadets found a stray dog and took it in and really fell in love with the dog. And one morning in formation, they were blowing the horns, and Reveille started barking. So that's how A&M's mascot was founded, and this is where they rest.
It'll be a while before she has to worry about that because she's only been on the job a couple of years. That touchdown for Pulley was historic, folks. Oh, what a tackle. Oh, kind of took his neck off, but quite a tackle. But Coleman makes the tackle. That's a couple times on kickoffs. The point I was going to make, guys, that touchdown by Pulley was his first rushing touchdown.
Take a look at this clothesline.
Oh, the line is out to dry.
That's his second big play on special teams. It's 2 big hits for him. Backup linebacker.
You can see that Lyons has a few moves, but you can't make them. If the defenders are all over your face, Reggie Brown and Larry Walker coming in on the tackle there, it's no gain.
Well, the A&M defense has been dominating, to say the least, Greg. They just played tremendous defensive football game here this entire afternoon.
Second down. 7:37 to go in the third quarter. 42-0 A&M. And a sack. That'll be Donovan Greer, 27, I think. It was that Mitchell. It was Mitchell, 23. Thank you. And
well, the defensive secondary should get the coverage for this sack. He had a little bit of time. He scrambled around, bought himself some extra time, but there still was no one open downfield. That's a coverage sack. You know about those, don't you?
Absolutely. That's Keith Mitchell's 11th sack of the year. He's having a big year for that wrecking crew.
Makes a lot of big plays, doesn't he?
They're down at 10. Delby Parker. Sacked again. This time it's Edward Jasper. Edward, not a little guy. A nose guard from Troop 291. 6'4" junior. And so they'll have to punt. Middle Tennessee State will have to punt once again. Middle Tennessee State has lost this year to Georgia Southern 34-26, Murray State 34-0, and Eastern Kentucky 34-21. They've won all the rest of them, including last week 31-6 over Tennessee Tech. That's a big rival.
Murray State is undefeated, and Eastern Kentucky, both those schools will be in the Division 1-2A playoffs next week.
9 sacks today for Aggie. The ball is loose. And they're marking it with the fumble marker, and it looks like it's going to be still Aggie football. Let's go down to Bill Land on the sideline.
Thanks, Greg. A couple of scores from the Southwest Conference. Texas beating TCU in the fourth, 20-19. We've also got Texas Tech all over SMU, 38-7. That's in the second. Rice and Baylor leading 14-6 at the half. And Tennessee came back to beat Kentucky today. A real scare from the Wildcats before the Vols win 34-31.
Well, I'm sure there are a number of people in the audience back in Tennessee that were watching that one, and they've now tuned over to this one and are not happy with the way the score has gone. The ball is loose, and it is possible. Well, maybe not. Who's got that football?
Oh, they're going to score.
Hey.
They're going to score.
Well, maybe. They're marking it back. No, they're not going to score. But they may have the... Well, let's see. They're going to get the football, though.
Why didn't he allow him to run? Is he saying the ball was down?
Either that. Yeah, it may have been the guy that picked it up, had his knees down when he picked it up. In any event, it's going to be a first down. Kevin Poland, by the way, was in at quarterback. We'll have to see exactly how he picked that one up, but I believe they may have been scrambling for it, and the player who actually picked it up, Clay Brooks, was on his hands and knees when he picked it up, and of course means he's down. They're talking about it on the far side.
Well, that's a situation where Kevin Colin's coming off the bench. hadn't been playing. He's cold, and the center's been in there pounding, knocking heads all afternoon, and just not on the same page with the snap. And Coach Slocum hates to see that, but
he wasn't down anywhere, was he? He was up the whole time. Well,
he certainly was.
First down. That looked like. Now that shows how hard this is, folks. That was a heck of a run by Lyons. Very hard. And he got 5 yards, but that was a very tough run.
Well, I think the thing you're seeing right now, Greg, is the fact that Middle Tennessee is still trying hard. They're playing hard. Look at the effort the Lion puts into this play. He was stopped there, and he keeps digging, he keeps driving, keeps trying to put up extra. This is the thing that Booth Donnelly and his staff could be proud of and what they're looking for, to see that your team doesn't lay down on you.
It's a gut check.
Second down.
Isn't that what you old coaches used to say?
Gut check time.
Second down and 5. Look out. Good blocking. Going back to the starting quarterback. It was just floated up. Jonathan Quinn, and there's going to be a late flag.
That's offensive. There's no question. That's an offensive pass interference call.
Yeah, it'll help though. By old Donovan Greer, who knows a bit of thing about interference both ways. He's being a defensive back. By the way, that was Quinn back in the game throwing this ball. Just kind of floated it up.
Yeah, there's the play, and you're going to see Marcel watch him make sure he doesn't catch the ball.
Donovan says, "Hey, you call that on me all the time. Let's
that angle.
Let's go the other way with it."
That angle, you didn't quite see it. Quinn's back in there, but there again, all day long, he's taking a pretty good hit. That plane ride back.
He might have a few ice bags on his body, huh?
Brandon Mitchell.
Offense.
Brandon Mitchell is the guy who
replays second down.
And he will go back to second down.
I like Tennessee had a little gut check time up against Kentucky. Kentucky's got a great running back, that Mo Williams. I bet she had some yardage in that game. Booth says, "Come on." Where was that call? We saw a replay down the sideline. Didn't look that close on replay. I'm only kidding. He didn't have a replay down.
Really nice meeting him yesterday. Meet a guy that's been at the same university for that long and done well. He's a heck of a football coach.
That may be a fumble. Out of bounds, so it isn't going to matter. It's going to be retained by the Blue Raiders. It was going to be a fumble, but he never was recovered by the other team. Let's take a look at it.
I don't think he even ever had possession of the ball, did he?
It looks like it to me.
Yes, he did. Looked like it pretty close.
He threw the bag down. That was the signal of marking it. So, but it didn't matter because the ball was not recovered by the Aggies. Actually, you just mark it where it went out. Can't fumble it forward out of bounds, so that's why it's back at the original line of scrimmage, since it was not recovered by the opposition. They see Quinn's numbers. Those numbers, okay, 7 for 22, not impressive, but he has taken so much punishment.
You're not going to question whether he's tough or not.
The thing that's amazing about this team, too, is the number of walk-ons. The percentage of walk-ons on the team is astounding. Of course, they're allowed only 65 scholarships in Division I AA, and the punishment continues. Just holding on to the football to get him a plus as he Brown.
Reggie Brown says, "Man, I like this plan when no one blocks me. From that open side, no one touches me." He really did a good job of hanging on to the football here. Watch this hit from the backside. Amazing he didn't fumble that one. And Reggie, what's that, about his third sack of the day?
There's some guys padding some stats. Hawkins is coming in now to return this punt. And it's a fair catch at the 24-yard line. And we got 10 seconds to play in the third period. Texas A&M 42, Middle Tennessee State nothing.
Stars, arrows, hockey. It's more than a game. season on Prime Sports.
A&M leading Middle Tennessee State by 42. Let's go down to the sidelines. Bill Land with a special guest.
Thanks, Greg. I've got the president of Middle Tennessee State, James Walker, with me, and certainly not the most pleasant of circumstances, but you kind of knew what you were getting into today, didn't you, James?
Well, we did. We had some idea what it would be like. We knew it would be a great opportunity for our players to come out and play and compete at this level, and we've had a great time out here. Everybody's been very nice to us, and we've really enjoyed it thus far, despite the score.
I know you're excited about Middle Tennessee going to Division 1A here in just a few years.
Yeah, in 1998, we plan to move up to a full 1A schedule, something we've been working on for some time, and we play 1A now in all of our sports, and we thought that it's only appropriate that we move up from the 1AA level up to 1A in football as well, and we'll be able to compete and stay up with the big guys when we get there and when the time is right.
How tough a process is that going to be, especially the way college athletics and the scene is changing?
Well, it's not going to be easy for us or anyone that want to make that move. We've done a lot of things, I think, in terms of preparation for that we feel we're pretty prepared to make the move. We're in the process now of expanding our stadium to accommodate 35,000 seats, and we'll be expanding beyond that with the success we have. Also increasing the scholarships and doing the other kinds of things we need to do to recruit and compete at the 1A level. And as I say, we've played at least one 1A team each year for the last 5 or 6 years, and we will be moving up to the 1A level in 1998. And again, we think we'll compete pretty good at that level.
Well, Blue Raider fans wish you'd stay on forever. Your team just intercepted a pass. Thank you very much, and the best of luck the rest of the way here.
Well, thank you very much, and we're having a great time here at Texas A&M.
James Walker, the president of Middle Tennessee State. Greg?
You know, you were reading my mind. I was about to say, he better keep talking because Stiegel with an interception, and now the Blue Raiders have, again, about the best position they've had, but this is when you got to watch out for the sacks. Not this time. Little screen pass. A little bit of yardage to McGill, and McGill runs out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. What has happened in the past, Bucky, out of plays like this, after they make a defensive play or after they get a play down to the Aggie territory, almost the very next play, the Aggies blitz and knock them back 5 or 6 yards. This time they did not. They were actually able to move forward.
Well, that's their game plan coming into it. They love to put pressure on the quarterback and blitz and just play bump and run man-to-man on the outside with their cornerbacks, and that's just the way they play defense.
They got a few changes in the defensive lineup. We noticed some numbers here. They're a little strange, a little unusual that we're not used to. We'll catch them as they make plays. That ball's going toward the end zone. Mosteller over to get to it, and it is incomplete. Rich Cody is number 48. He was on the coverage there. He has been a starter, however, but not all year. Looks like also in the lineup for Texas A&M is the defensive backfield, Sherrod Wyatt, number 11. He's in there. Michael Price, number 40, is in the game in the defensive backfield. 3rd down and 4.
Call for Philip Myers is in there as a linebacker.
Yeah, 21. Sean Horn is in the game. Of course, he's been in the lineup. He's been a regular, I guess. Not always a starter, but he has been a regular. He's played regularly much of the year when healthy. Mosteller can't get to it, and that was completable. That's what hurts you. You know, in a situation like this where you've been pushed around the field much of the game, when you do have a chance, you almost have to take advantage of every one of them, and they haven't been able to pull that one off.
And that's exactly right. Mosteller made a good move. Break to the outside and made the move. He had a 2 or 3 step break on the defensive back, and ball just didn't get there.
Texas has defeated TCU 27-19. We just get an update on that score. So Texas continues to put the heat on. 4th down and 4. They're going for it, of course. And here they come. He gets it away in time. It is complete for the 1st down. At the 15-yard line on 4th and 4, Rich Cody on the hit. Mosteller making the catch. And it's 42-0 with 3:03 in the 3rd, but a good scoring opportunity now.
Good time. Go back 5-step drop. Gets Mosteller on a curl right in the middle there. Good timing on the pattern. Decent protection. And a completion that they needed badly to give him a 1st down inside the 20. That's the first time they've been inside the 20 today.
Mosteller working on a calf. On they give. McGill sliding to the 4, to the 3, to the 2, still pushing McGill down to about the 2-yard line. And McGill and Lyons both showing a never quit running style as he was pounding after he had already been hit, and he'll be first and goal.
Great effort by McGill here on the draw play. Sees the hole, explodes through it. Look at this individual effort here. Keeps his feet moving, stays on his feet. Great effort. Here we take another look. Good angle there, field view. Breaks a couple tackles. Great effort.
Well, the Aggie fans waving those 12th man towels now because they want a shutout, and their shutout is in big danger. First and goal from the 1. In motion, give, Lyons dives the top, spun around, doesn't make it. Second and goal. Tried to go over the top with Lyons with McGill in motion, but it didn't work. It's almost exactly at the same spot play started. Maybe he gained a half yard.
Take a look at it. Tries to go up over the top. Everybody in great position. Defensive linebackers playing their spot.
Quarterback over the top. Touchdown. Middle Tennessee State is in as Jonathan Quinn uses his size to good advantage. 6'6", 230, and it's the first score of the game for Middle Tennessee State University. And I guess the old school president was the luck bringer as he was being interviewed by Bill just as the interception started this drive.
You got to remember, Jonathan Quinn, 6'6", 230 pounds. He's going to be hard to keep out of that end zone from a yard out.
Yeah, Trent Driver, the defensive linebacker, tried to make a move, but just kind of guessed at the wrong spot that Quinn was coming over the top.
And the extra point is good by Rhett Coop. And with 1:36 to play in the third quarter, it is 42-7.
Some of the Middle Tennessee fans that made the trip over here with the team, Beckham.
Don't forget, tomorrow, beginning at 2 o'clock, live on Prime Sports, it's the women's preseason NIT tournament. That's some of the nation's top college teams, including the Lady Razorbacks, not the Lazy Raiderbacks. That'd be a whole different team, wouldn't it? The Lady Razorbacks of Arkansas and the Lady Aggies of A&M. The home for women's hoops, of course, is Prime Sports. By the way, the championship is Tuesday night at 7:30 live. And so be sure to be with us. We'll have a lot of basketball for you.
Well, here you see Middle Tennessee. They made the adjustment at halftime. They've got those 2 up-backs on the end to pick up that blitz. They did a good job and gave Quinn enough time to deliver the football and made a good throw and catch. So you see the experience of Boots Donnelly there, going in at halftime, making some adjustments. The blitz was killing him in the first half. He's been around long enough to do that, and that's just a good coaching move by his coaching staff.
Very good, very good. That's what they did. That's what they had to do. And you know, they sure at halftime they said, let's just go out like it's nothing. In reality, they scored 7 and A&M scored 7 this half. Look at her trying to win the game with onside
kick. Doc Wynn is going to have a touchdown. Doc Wynn, the freshman redshirt from Rockport, Fulton, who was born in Arkansas, but whose mom and dad came to the United States while he was,
I think we've seen it all.
Gestation, if I can put it any better way.
We've seen it all today.
And now Nguyen has scored. His mom was pregnant when he and father left Vietnam, and Dot Nguyen, that touchdown.
Don't see that happen very often.
Dot Nguyen's the kind of guy you want on your football team. He's a hard worker. He's a dedicated guy. He leads the wrecking crew and tackles. Here he just makes a heads up play, catches the ball, and there he goes. He just lets his athletic ability take over from there. Make the kicker miss, and he walks in.
The kickers don't make too many tackles.
No, they don't.
They don't work on that in practice. They don't normally work on that in practice.
You know, here's a guy, interesting story about Dot, not only the background with the family, but when he was a freshman here, that 46-yard return, when he was a freshman here, he thought football players had to be big, and he was overweight. In fact, he was so overweight that R.C. Slocum admitted he never thought much of him. He didn't really think he was going to compete for a starting job this year. Trent Driver started the year at that interior linebacker spot, had a little bit of an injury. Dot and Wynn got to play. Now Driver is healthy, able to play, playing well, but Dot and Wynn has won the job, and Dot Wynn has done more than just play linebacker in this game. 46 yards on the attempted but unsuccessful onside kick.
Well, Boots had a good one-liner about McElroy taking plays for touchdowns. He said he watched him against Rice, and those Rice boys were smart academically, but they couldn't seem to quite figure out the angles to make the play to get McElroy. And he said he knew that his football players were just average academically, knew they wouldn't figure out the angle, so apparently they couldn't figure out the angle to get that win on that play.
That's right. That just took off and went straight. Here's the kickoff at the 5-yard line. Mosteller has a hole, but he can't totally close it. He still gets it up to the 35. And that's where the Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders will put the ball in play. Minute 23 to go in the third quarter. The Aggies over the Blue Raiders, 49-7. And Quinn will come back in to run the show.
Probably a lot of black and blue Raiders there tomorrow when they hit that whirlpool back in Murfreesboro.
Yeah, they knew they were in a game. The thing here is, as we have a first down, we'll make this point after this play. Mosteller, complete. Tracked down finally by Rich Cody. He has been the man, and that one was right on target. First down to the 41-yard line. You got to remember, this is a team, Texas A&M, that was very highly regarded before the season began. They are still ranked in the top 20 of the Division I-A poll. And there's a difference. I mean, there's no question at this point the Blue Raiders are talented enough to knock off some Division I-A teams. Probably not one that's in the top 20. But there are a lot of them that aren't in the top 20. They're playing Division I-A. Jumping around. Apparently no flag. Give up the middle is good for a first down. That was again, McGill has had a good strong second half. Quentin Brown on the tackle. And it will be first down inside the 30.
Well, he runs inside. This is an inside play. He just runs away inside from the blitz. Blitzers were caught inside, and the man was responsible for that gap, just didn't get outside. He was cut off by the blocked down man, and that opened up a nice hole.
Actually, there was a flag, but it's declined because of the gain. It was offside. 52 yards, as you saw, from McGill. There's James Boots Donnelly. Offense coordinator is Tom Fivash. Alex Robbins, quarterback coach. Eric Rourke handles the receivers.
Think of the Nashville area, you think of Boots Randolph, though, don't you, more than Boots?
Yeah, you might. Some might. That ball is incomplete. Incomplete, intended in the end zone. And it's going to be a second down. Second down at 10. You can see what has happened this year. The Aggies are up over their average, and MTSU is under their season average.
Subdued Aggie crowd right now.
Yeah, I was going to comment on that. It's about as quiet as you'll ever hear it in Kyle Field.
That was completed to McGill. Maxwell on the stop, a pickup of about half the yardage needed. It'll be third down.
Maxwell was a starter early in the year, and then Pat Williams replaced him, and Maxwell getting a little playing time now, sophomore from Waco.
And we will reach the end of the third quarter. That's where we are. 3 quarters now in the books. And Texas A&M leads Middle Tennessee State University by a score of 49-7. Fourth quarter coming up right here on Special Order Sports.
It's the Ron Hoover RV Center end-of-year clearance sale. Save thousands and thousands on a great selection of factory repos and new and used motorhomes, fifth wheels, and trailers. Bring your trade. Travel Appraisers will be on hand to offer you a guaranteed 10% above book value. Don't miss this exciting opportunity to own the RV of your choice. It's the Ron Hoover RV Center end-of-year clearance sale going on now. IH-10 West in Bernie.
We have an electric heat pump, but I'm still chilly all the time. I only heat up when I get my electric bill.
Propane furnaces deliver more warm air than an electric heat pump, and operating costs can be less. Even a winter's day can be like a day at the beach without the sand.
I love to barbecue, but I don't like the messy charcoal, the lighter fluid, and all the smoke. There's got to be a better way.
A propane gas grill is a clean way to save time and money, so you can cook better cuts of beef cheaper and faster, as soon as you can catch them.
Ricky Richardson and Ed Biles in the booth. Bill Land on the sideline. We are set to start the fourth quarter. It is 49-7, Texas A&M over Middle Tennessee State University. We had, I would guess, at the start of the game, actually a little larger crowd than anticipated.
Aggie tradition at its finest right here.
Now this is where you lose a little bit of the effect. Actually, the booth sways. In fact, if you were watching our interview with John David Crow, you may have noticed things moving on your screen. That's because when they go into the saw varsity's horns, varsity referring to the University of Texas, the arch foe, actually the stadium moves. We can feel it.
We're moving as you speak.
Yes.
So you mean if you got motion sickness, it'd be difficult?
You're in trouble. You ought to buy some of that motion sickness stuff. They ought to sell it in the concession stand. Quinn with a pass completed to his tight end. That's good for the first down. Cutting inside to about the 15-yard line. Our 10 is 53,549. That's maybe 3,000 or so more than they were estimating. Rich Cody on the tackle there as the ball was completed to Matt Lowe, a freshman from Powell, Tennessee. Actually, I said he's tight end. He wears a tight end number, but he actually lines up on the flank. He will stay in the game and come out wide to the left with Mosteller. They got three wideouts in the lineup, Mosteller and Toby Walker. And Quinn looks end zone left. It is incomplete, intended for Mosteller. He wanted interference, but it was way after the ball passed him. Rich Cody was there on defense.
Yeah, the ball was way away from him. He didn't have a chance to catch that. Is it fun playing quarterback when you're behind 49-7, Buck?
It's not playing. It's not fun being on a team that is getting beat that bad. I mean, my last year in Houston, we went 2-14, and I tell you, that was the longest season I ever was a part of, I can assure you.
And you wasn't a 2-14 football team. You had much better talent than that.
The LeLay give inside, and it is diagnosed, and Philip Myers puts the pinch on McGill right at the line of scrimmage. Generally speaking, though, I think this offensive line for Middle Tennessee State, particularly when you consider two things: length of the game, number of players that A&M can run at you. Really, from the first quarter on, they've held their own. There have not been many yards, but it hasn't been embarrassing. And in fact, it has gotten better. They've had more yardage and more offense here down the line.
They've given up 3 defensive scores, though, Greg. A lot of that's been because of pressure and blitzing and things of that nature. So
to the end zone. Was that tip? Had to be tipped. The way it got away, looked like he may have hit the arm. Brad Crowley down there at the bottom. Brad from Corpus Christi, Cal Allen. And so it'll be fourth down.
I know you're trying to be kind and nice to the Middle Tennessee State's offensive line, but I don't think the coaching staff would completely agree with you now about the fact that they've done too well. I don't think they've done very well.
Well, I guess I'm comparing them to the first part of the game. And it seems that they are doing better since the game, which I think is reversal of what I might have expected. Here's fourth down.
I was going to say, I'm not sure if we were watching the same game or not.
Looks like they've scored once, and they might score again. Doesn't that count? Mostiller goes up. He's out of the end zone. It does not count. They will give it up. And now they're going to throw a flag on him for throwing the football away.
On Mostiller, yeah, that's frustration. That's exactly frustration. Well, I think the score of the offensive line discussion is play-by-play 1, analyst 2.
Okay.
Well, here you're right, Greg. Middle Tennessee offensive line.
Look, he's not getting sacked.
They do a
He's
great
got plenty
job.
of time to throw it. It could have been a touchdown, a little long. I think that's pretty good offensive line there.
Yeah, that was good offensive line play.
It's 13:32 to go in the game. Ball goes over on downs to Texas A&M. Colin will come in, stay in at quarterback.
You know, when you're behind 49-7, you got to be allowed one frustration throw, shouldn't you, Buck? I mean,
absolutely.
You know, one frustration throw. Come on, ref, give me a break. One frustration throw. I didn't hurt anybody, didn't kick anybody, didn't slug anybody. I just threw the football.
Let's go down to Bill Land on the sideline.
That frustration, I think, came from that previous play when Mostiller made a comment to the official that he thought he'd been interfered with. The official then said, "You play, I'll ref." So that might have been a payback, guys.
Oops. Yeah, oops. First down there on the 30. Not much there. That's Sir Parker getting his, I think his first carry of the game. A freshman from Los Angeles. And Rich Holiday was in on the tackle.
Middle Tennessee was ahead. He might have told the official, well, we're playing better than you're officiating, but score 49-7. I guess you couldn't make that comment, could you, Buck?
Nope. They've got all the laundry in their pockets, so you can't get away with much.
2nd and 9. Whoa, threw it behind. He waited nicely, had Hawkins, and then he couldn't execute the pass. Threw it behind him, incomplete. And it's 3rd.
Kevin Cullen graduated from Deer Park in Houston, and he graduated early. Came up, he was with the Aggies in spring practice last year. He's a true freshman, and he's getting some playing time today, so I'm sure he's glad to be on the there playing.
Yeah, Chris, who's on the defensive side of the ball, his brother. 3rd down and 9. Complete for the first down to Aaron Oliver. Oliver brought down after picking up enough for the first down. Richard Wagner, number 32, making the stop. Give him 12 on the play.
Threw that off balance, kind of falling away. Pretty good throw, Buck.
He's got a very good arm. Very good arm.
Wagner made the tackle, a 5'8", 5'10", 175-pound sophomore from Knoxville, Tennessee. And a little mix-up there. Sir Parker pops it up in the air, and it's recovered by Middle Tennessee. Garland Henley getting the recovery.
Well, that play started off bad the whole way. Kevin has got to get that center over there on the sideline and get that worked out. But that drives a coach crazy, huh?
Oh, yeah. Center quarterback exchange. You know, you begin every play with the center quarterback exchange. You begin every practice with talking about it, executing it. Everybody knows that you can't start offensively without that making, and that's, again, one of those frustrating things. As much time you spend on it, you still occasionally see it.
Wallaby at the 39-yard line.
RC's showing a little frustration today.
He doesn't need to get too frustrated, though.
Got to play TCU next week, and then Texas to follow. It's toward the end zone, and it is incomplete. We've seen enough of those plays. Shun Horn was on coverage. We've seen enough of those plays, I think, in this game to know that how a team like a Middle Tennessee State, even though they're trailing this one 49-7, could stay in a game. If you have one of those deals when the quarterback's just hitting everything. And they happen occasionally. Face mask.
Well, they've had a good season, Greg. This 7-3 football team, and they have played some good football teams. Two of the teams that they lost to, Murray State, again, is undefeated, and Eastern Kentucky, perennial power in Division I, 2A, but always an outstanding football team.
It'll be 1st down and 5 as they get the 5 yards on the penalty. 12:22 remaining. 49-7 A&M. Here they come. Quinn drops back. Looking, gets it away in time, and it is complete. Musteller says, I caught it, raised his hand. He made sure they noticed, didn't he?
Well, he did a good little selling job.
Yeah,
what the coaches say, hey, get up and, do a little selling to the fixers, ain't doubt. He hung in there very well. I'm not so sure he caught that pass.
But maybe he had to sell it.
Yeah, he did a good job of selling it. I guess a bounce and a half once in a while doesn't matter, does it? Helps us quarterback stats.
That's right. Ball's on the 23-yard line where it's first down. Quinn, high, caught, and Toby Walker is still fighting, and he gets out of bounds at about the 11 or 12. Trent Driver with the knockout there. Driver out of Cleveland, Texas, just a little north of Houston.
See here, Jonathan Quinn. This guy's got a cannon. This is about a 25-yard out route, and he puts it on the line over there. Receiver makes some good moves to get some extra yards, but that Jonathan Quinn has got a cannon for an arm.
Walker did a good job running after the catch there. Once the Aggies now with some backup people playing in there, getting some good game experience.
First down. Quinn looks end zone corner. Mosteller, boy, how many of those have we had? Just a little bit off. Sherrard Wyatt was there, but the key is, again, the pass just being just a little bit too long or a little bit too much outside.
Well, the reason you're seeing so much of that, Greg, is, of course, the Aggies, with their blitzing, that forces the defensive back to take the inside position away from the receiver. You're going to make a little slant move here on a quick slant. That's the other receiver that maybe he would have gone to. But they're bringing a move where they're coming back out to the corner. And that's usually what you can get open against blitzes.
And two, the quarterback Quinn there is having to get rid of the ball a half a second to a second earlier than he really wants to, and that causes a little problems for that too.
Second and 10. Too high. Receiver outside couldn't have reached that one. Let's go down to the field and Bill.
Thanks, Greg. Here are some finals of top-ranked teams. Ohio State beating Indiana 42-3. Florida over Vanderbilt 38-7. And Tennessee coming back to beat Kentucky 34-31. Colorado and Kansas State are in the second period. Colorado leads that one 7-3. Another final, Penn State over Michigan 27-17. And LSU and Arkansas are in the third. It's LSU all over the Razorbacks 28-0 in the third period.
A couple of interesting scores there, to be sure. Got a timeout called by Middle Tennessee. We'll be back with a 49-7 A&M lead with 11:36 to play in the game.
Prime Sports Showcase, the channel of channels, features the best of 4 networks, plus pro and college events from your regional sports network. Classic Sports, where all the legends play. Sports news, the most up-to-the-minute scores and highlights. Prime Deportiva, the first and only all-Spanish sports network. Women's Sports and Entertainment Network, the only network dedicated to women's sports. Call your cable company to get Prime Sports Showcase, the channel of channels. Cold steel blades, speed and precision, pounding the ice.
Plays it behind the goal to Zezel. A deke, a shot, and a goal!
The Dallas Stars. Prime Sports on ice. Shaken, not stirred.
Here in the Needham Steed Laboratory, in layman's terms, that's the A&M football, or I should say athletic weight room. And one of the things, people always ask me what I'm most proud of, and one of the things is up here, we have a complete record list of all the athletes that have ever come through here in each lift. And I'm still at the top of one of those lists, so I've always got something to brag about when I go home and talk to my buddies about it. Well, hey.
Wait a minute. What was that?
It wasn't my idea.
Weightlifting or strength? They don't pay quarterbacks for lifting iron.
Yeah, but he's up there. Stormy Casey is in a quarterback.
Oh, what a record for a quarterback. I'm the strongest quarterback.
They just tell me what to say. I read a card.
That was number one for quarterbacks and specialists. And actually, it's third overall, and including the big guys. There's only 2 big guys that have lifted more in that category.
Does that mean he was a big, strong, dumb quarterback? Is that what that means?
I have been called that a few times.
Well, I wouldn't say was or is now. Wait a minute.
49-7 here. Hicks got the first down, the tackle after the first down pickup. That's quite a weight room. It's had a lot of people working at it while we were in there shooting that piece. By the way, that cinematography. And by the way, I prefer.
Who was that guy?
I prefer to call it cinematography. It was me. There's a loss on this play. Oh my!
You're taking credit.
Ouch! I'm only as good as my camera. Barnes and Hicks making the tackle.
Only as good as your equipment.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Well, you know, that's been one of the big changes in athletics, the development of those weight rooms, and amazingly when they bring a young high school player in, how they can put extra weight on them. And as you mentioned in one earlier piece, about 15 pounds a year you can put off the right nutrition, the emphasis on nutrition, emphasis on food conditions, and the things that they're doing just so much better than what athletes had in the past.
Second down and 11. Another loss on the play. Again, the defense, Sean Kelly on the tackle there, coming through.
Another thing with the weight room, Ed and Greg, is that in the offseason, when you're doing the offseason program, it gives those guys some goals. They set goals, and they're looking up there at that record chart, and it gives them a little motivation. Hey, I want to get up there on the board, and I want to move up, and hopefully by the time I graduate, I can be at the top of one of those lists. And it's a pretty big deal for the football players to be on that thing. So it acts as a good motivation for those guys to work hard in the offseason.
Third down and long. Good gain and still going, but not enough. Hardiman is brought down short of the 20-yard line, and so they'll have to kick it away. Jeff Dunner. Well, did the ball come loose? Yes! It is picked up. Just stolen right away by Dunner.
You know, one of the other things that's happened at A&M, Bucky, and I think it's extremely important. They started a year or so ago, an athletic service. Let's take a look at this replay. I'd like to continue with this thought, though. Let's see the strip. See if we can pick it up as it goes in there. His hand in there.
Again. Oh. Pull.
Oh, he keeps pull.
Got it just in.
Now, he deserved effort. That kind of effort, you deserve to be rewarded.
On the hand up the hand inside, spinning off inside is the running back McGill, and he gets 3 or 4, and it will be. There you see the guy Dunner made the play. James on the tackle.
I'll tell you, that was just a great play by Dunner there. And you know what? You know where old Dunner's from? Texas, Waco boy.
That's right, Waco, Texas. Second down, 4.
Well, an interception and a fumble recoveries. 2 out of the last 3 series.
Inside receiver makes the catch and a touchdown for Middle Tennessee State. Mosteller gets in, and the 49-13 score. There's a flag down, some celebration or some rule was broken out there.
Give me a break. Take a look. This is well executed. Mosteller's in the slot, going right straight down. Does a little curl pattern. Now makes the defensive back miss. He takes it into the end zone.
Does his little dance.
Oh man, come on, officials. Look at him.
Well, here's the play again. Mosteller gets the touchdown as he takes the inside plate, slides around the defender Wyatt.
Have some fun with it, Denver. Even if they penalize you, y'all have had a long afternoon.
Here's a strange thing. Part of the rationale, I guess, unsportsmanlike conduct. But remember, it used to be considered a lot of times delay the game. So what they do, So what do? They take 40 extra seconds explaining it.
Well,
so that's delaying the game.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct. The score is good. The penalty will be assessed on the kickoff.
As long as you're not directing it to your opponent, there's no problem with it. As long as it, like you said, delay the game or cause some problems. But hey, if you're just doing it, celebrating with your teammates, more power to you. Dance the night away.
Didn't hurt a thing, and he didn't stuff the ball into someone's nose and make it look like I made you up.
Yeah, that to me, that's the only thing that's really distasteful, is the shoving the ball into the other guy's face, or really an unsportsmanlike effort. But hey, I don't make the rules. We'll take a break. It's 49-14, 6:56 to play. The Aggies leading Middle Tennessee State.
Join the thousands who have discovered the Contour Pillow, anatomically designed to follow the natural contour of your neck and head while it supports and aligns your spine. Ordinary pillows lose their shape, but the Contour Pillow supports your body the way nature intended. Tense muscles relax, rest, and rejuvenate. We guarantee you will awaken refreshed and ready to go, or your money back. The Contour Pillow is now available for $19.95. Call now for a free pillowcase. Find out what thousands of Americans have already learned. The ultimate night's sleep is only a phone call away. Order now.
It's 49-14 with 6:56. We'd like to thank all those involved with the success of today's telecast, including AC Boom Boom, Alan Cannon, and the sports information staff at Texas A&M, Dave South in the A&M marketing department, Ed Given, the sports information director at Middle Tennessee State, Pat Jackson, TV director and production manager at MTSU, our statistician, Spotter, Prime Sports Operations Manager, Lelia Murphy, who's here, who basically puts everything and everybody in their place. You're putting everybody in their place. Yeah, that's what she does, right. 49-14. And of course our crew always drives in those things.
It's our producer and directors.
Yeah, look at that. They're probably picking up the game.
Satellite in there.
Their pay-per-view pickup there. And
having a little barbecue. And
yeah, here's
lunch, certainly.
Kickoff at the 25. And he's tripped up. You'll notice the Middle Tennessee State elected not to try another onside kick. Last time it was needed to run back for a touchdown by Dot Wynn.
Greg, you know, we were talking a little bit about the weight room and et cetera. One of the other services that A&M has started here a year or so ago, they have what they call a career center for athletic services. And they have a lady who works specifically with the athlete, trying to prepare them for the fact that after they get out of school, they won't be playing sports. They may not be playing pro football, learning about advisors, learning about things of this nature. This is a great service, I think, that A&M is providing, and I think you're going to find that catching on to a lot of other universities around the country.
Hawkins comes up and gets the ball across the 40. Jeff Dunner on the tackle. And they're going to mark that at about the 37-yard line. Widener making the stop. 14-yard pickup.
I don't think they had that service when you were here, did they, Bucky? I think it's
absolutely not.
Jennifer Bohack, I think is her name, who's the assistant director of that service.
Stormy Case remains in at quarterback. He was in on the last series, number 10. Completes another pass. There's a flag down, and pickup of about 5 or 6 yards. May have been a hit on Case. Don't know. We'll see. Sean Kelly and Barnes were in on the tackle.
I could use a little bit of that advice right now, I can tell you.
Well, I think they also do things from like the standpoint of telling athletes what kind of summer jobs they can have, how much they can make, try to get so they don't have any violations of the NC2A. Well, you can see the rollout here, and that is a rather late hit.
You're not supposed to hit quarterbacks like that.
Well,
what's he thinking?
Well, you know, the quarterbacks just like to be protected. They really Boots
said that was sticking up for the quarterbacks on that one.
Yeah, right. He's
just telling his player how stupid he was to make a play like that out in the open. You know, like, you know, you quarterbacks kind of think you should have dresses on and be protected, and nobody should ever touch you.
The hardest thing about this sport, and probably hockey, is something it's controlling the violence which is required to play the game, controlling it to the right time, and that's what's tough. We'll take a break. 6:16 to go with A&M leading 49-14.
Which has contributed over $618,000 to the General Scholarship.
on the next Baywatch.
Beer. Where'd you get that?
It's the last call for alcohol.
A couple DUIs, some drunken bar brawl.
For some unwelcome visitors.
So I took a couple sips. What, you've never done it?
Not while I'm working.
Will it be a sobering experience?
I won't let some sicko sex maniac cost me my career.
Or will they hit the drink?
You think you should be riding after drinking?
On the next Baywatch.
Tonight at 6 on UBN 35, Cable 7.
Another classic moment on Nick at Night. Classic TV.
They look like women from Mars.
Dr. Hartley, I'm glad you're here. I worry so when you're driving.
I'm not sure if this fits.
Stay tuned for more classic moments here at the home of classic TV, Nick at Night.
A host of exciting new stores, Central Park Mall. It's filled with Christmas.
I don't see Bucky. I don't see.
Hey.
Nation's winners active quarterback. So he's right up there.
That's true. He's also a big weightlifter.
Oh, that's right.
Touchdown in the corner. Aaron Oliver.
I thought I was up here with some friends.
Oh, listen.
You don't need any enemies when you got friends like us.
Wow.
So the touchdown pass from Stormy Cates to Oliver puts the Aggies over the 50-point mark on the 4th down play.
Here's Stormy Cates sprinting out to the right side. Perfect throw. Interesting, his older brother plays for the Phoenix Cardinals. Came out in the draft this year from New Mexico. So he's back gene in the family.
They did a good job of that one. That was well executed, well formed. Put it right on the numbers. The national quarterback. So it ain't better than that. And with that 56 points, a few of the Aggie faithful are beginning to file out of the stadium.
They think this one's safe, huh? 5.5 minutes to play. The Aggies 56, Middle Tennessee State 14. Remember, Middle Tennessee State University is turned in Division 1A in a couple of years. Let's go down to the field and Bill Land.
Thanks, fellas. Couple of scores to check out. From the Big 8, Kansas leading Oklahoma State 9-7. That one in the second period. In the Southwest Conference, earlier Texas winning over TCU 27-19. Tech 45, SMU 7 in the 4th. And Baylor a 21-6 leader over Rice. That one also in the 4th. And I know the coaches can't look ahead. Ed probably wouldn't want to comment, but what do you guys think of a potential Texas A&M game a couple weeks down the road?
Ed is only looking at TCU, but yeah, Bucky, you can. Players sometimes look ahead; they just don't tell the coaches.
Yeah. Well, TCU's got a good football team this year, and RC will make sure he tells his players all week long, look, we've got to go to Fort Worth and beat a good football team before we play Texas here at home. So let's hone in and concentrate on the job at hand, and I'm sure he'll have those guys focused on the Horned Frogs.
A&M has won 22 straight in that series. Sooner or later, it has to end.
Well, he's right. They don't plan on it happening this year, but TCU is always dangerous. How about that dancing and prancing? How about that run? It's Toby Walker, of course, one of the regular wide receivers, and he gets it up near midfield.
Well, the
kicker has to make the catch.
Kickoff coverage teams will need a little extra work this week. They've given up a couple pretty good returns.
Yes, that's true. Right off the beginning of the game. And now they're starting to give Biles what for.
Well, they know I never lose. When I've been here in games after
that's true.
If I win a streak of doing games here, A&M wins.
Well, having won 31 in a row, that's a pretty good. It's not real hard.
Yeah, I got more winning streaks than Bucky's got going here.
56-14. Bucky, your opening line was, gee, if he could have coached the Oilers on this field, maybe things would have been different. Oh, yeah, change the topic. 56-14 with 5:17 to play. Trent Driver's the guy that almost got a hold of that one.
Driver should have had that interception. Well thrown into his hands. No, I think the last two ball games are going to be tough for A&M. The only reason I say that they've beaten TCU 22 years in a row, and And Texas, they've won 10 out of the last 14, 4 straight. And, these teams get tired of that once in a while. I really think that they're going to have a very, very difficult game with Texas in here.
That is going to be some game, though. I know tickets, there hardly is such a thing unless you already have one, because they are going to be jam-packed in here. Bonfire's the night before. On the game's on the 2nd this year, so it's late as it's ever been. Later than it's ever been. 5:14 to go. 3rd down and still 10.
My streak with the Aggies ended out at Lubbock with Texas Tech. That was the first time I had ever seen the Aggies get beat. That was doing some games home and on the road. I'd always seen them win.
They invited you back, huh?
Yeah, they did. They got of course, a young team, as we've said before. A great number of the key players are back. And let's speak the same way for this Middle Tennessee State team. They're even younger. Bang! That's a completed pass and a 1st down. As Shelby Parker threaded the needle. Hard hit by Toya Jones, but not until he had picked up the 1st down.
Oh, Middle Tennessee is a young football team. The quarterback's a sophomore. McGill, who's played a lot, is a sophomore. Heimer, the fullback, is a junior. Toby Walker, the wide receiver, is a sophomore. Tight end is a junior. Jolly, offensive lineman. Williams, offensive lineman, junior. Massey's a junior. Mostilla, the receiver's had a good ball game. He's a junior. So they're going to be a pretty good offensive football team next year.
Yeah, 2 offensive linemen who are seniors that have gone. That ball is completed again. Walker cuts inside. Now cuts to the corner. He's got a block. He's got the angle. He's going inside the 10-yard line to about the 8. Trent Driver got him from behind. And, the score has gotten out of hand, so we've gotten off onto some other topics. That's a 33-yard gain. And admittedly, they're going against some of the backups with A&M, but the fact is, Middle Tennessee State has really dominated this last part of the game.
These guys don't look very happy.
I bet I could get them to smile if I was down.
I bet we could.
I bet we
maybe
could.
Not him.
No way.
He looks
never
mad.
Look at this guy. Holy mackerel, they're going to break the list.
What is he in charge of? I don't want to be in that program.
56-14.
You wouldn't qualify for that program either. You always got a smile on your face, Buck.
We need to put a uniform on him. He looks mean. Wow.
Was that for real?
Bill might be down there telling him to act up for us. It didn't look like it. Yeah, Bill tells us he doesn't like the announcers up here, so we need to steer clear.
Yeah, boy. Man. Well, the penalty moves it back to the 12-yard line. 4:15 left, clock running, 56-14, but the Raiders have a shot at getting in again. A lot of time, that helps, but it's intercepted in the end zone. And this could be, well, they're not going to have a chance to go 100, I don't think. Now, Andre Williams is going to get it out to about the 38. For a moment, thought he had a shot, but the angles were cut off, and he is knocked out of bounds, knocked down at about the 37, 38-yard line.
Let's try to get another look at that guy. See if he's smiling now after the interception.
Maybe he's a Middle Tennessee.
Well, let's take a look at the play first.
Parker's back. It's a good interception. Just steps in front. Andre Wood with his 2nd interception of the year.
Wanted to get that one to low, it looked like.
He's trying to set up some blocks. Just couldn't quite get enough of an angle to take off and go with it.
Oliver in motion. Casing the handoff to Hardiman. Hardiman to the 42-yard line. Clock ticks. If the Aggies have their way here, they'll run the game out on the ground. They got to keep control of the ball.
Greg, this is the 37th possession of this football game. That's a lot.
Next week at TCU, then December 2nd, Texas, the A&M schedule. And they'll have a bowl game.
7-2 after today's game, and those are 2 tough football games.
Yep. Little quick.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? There's a freshman offensive lineman. Spike's getting the ball game, and first in the ball game, the only time he gets any name mentions is when he makes a mistake. That's the trouble with being an offensive lineman. The only time people talk about you is when you make a mistake.
Oh my goodness, there he is again.
goodness. But he gets all A's. He intimidates instructors.
You couldn't make him smile right now if you had to.
What if you tickled him?
He's not tickled.
I don't know if I'd want to try. Connell can't get that one. It's wide. As Case. This is good too. Connell hadn't played a whole lot in the second half, but it's good for Case and to get the throw to.
Well, Greg, those guys are in practice. They're in practice every day, just like the starters. Work just as hard, and it's a treat for them to be able to get out there and get some substantial playing time. And shoot, that's why you go to practice every day, is to get a chance to get out in front of the home crowd and get out there in Kyle Field and play. So these guys are definitely happy to be out there.
Connell and Oliver go wide top of the screen, and Hawkins to the near side on 3rd and 9. Case with the roll. Sets it up, first down. Connell cuts inside, down inside the 50-yard line to about the 47. And the Aggies continue the drive. Texas A&M, the third winningest team in the nation in the 1990s. Only Florida State and Nebraska have better records.
Case rolls out to his left. Connell coming back the other way. And again, I tell you, Case has thrown some nice passes here the last couple of days.
He sure has.
That going to the left, and as you know, throwing back across your body, it's a tough, difficult pass to complete.
And nice pickup by Sir Parker. Parker picks up 6 or 7. Antonio Smith, the freshman quarterback from Powder Springs, Georgia, hitting him. That'll be a second down. They'll spot the ball about a couple of yards short, 2 or 3 yards short.
That guy still mad over there? Is that
I'm sure he is.
Poor guy still mad?
He probably ran our cameraman off down there.
Second down and 3. Oops. Oh man, where do you go? Backwards. That was Peterson on the carry. Meanwhile, our Gatorade player of the game, and it's McElroy, who of course had over 100 yards early in the second half, 97 at halftime, and 58 coming on this run with 2:11 to go in the first quarter. Leland McElroy, our Gatorade player of the game.
Pretty much a jaunt and a pretty good day there. 118 yards, 6.9 average, 2 touchdowns. Right up over those numbers John Richardson used to put up for the Aggies.
Long time ago, man. Long time ago.
Michael Williams on the carry this time. The Aggies spreading it out a little bit on the carries. Michael Williams is a running back from Louisville. Redshirt freshman, 5'10", 211 pounds. He's in the backfield along with Alcee Peterson, who carried on the previous play. And that ball is complete to Oliver. About 9-yard gain. It'll be a little short. Jermaine Wilson on the tackle. The Aggies are going to run it out. That's exactly what they wanted to do. There's only 40 seconds left.
Coach Boots Donnelly, though, he can be proud of his kids. They didn't quit, and they played a lot better in the second half. Of course, A&M put a lot of their backup players in, but still, Middle Tennessee, they didn't quit and were able to put some points on the board and move the football. So that's something positive that Boots Donnelly and his staff can build on, and going into the offseason and looking to turn things around and have another good year next year.
A break toward the end zone. The being stopped short, ball loose on the field, and a fumble recovered by the Blue Raiders. After a good break through the line of scrimmage by Michael Williams, he was hit hard, lost the ball, and that'll turn it over. Wilson on the recovery with 7 seconds to play. But a good run, just not a good finish for Michael. And a convincing final score will go in the books here as you see the play finish up.
A great run, but you have to hold on to football.
Yeah,
Coach?
Yeah, you got to carry the pumpkin.
Give credit to Jeff Dunner.
Give that pumpkin up, boy. A lot of other guys are looking for it. And they have played hard. They've tried hard. They've given everything they've got, and they've got nothing to be ashamed of. They knew what they were getting into coming over to play a team like this. They were filled in on a schedule where normally Arkansas.
On the draw play, final play of the football game on the carry to McGill, and that is the ball game. Look out, if you're a yell leader, look out, because you're going to get caught and you're going to get dumped in the fountain. And there's the congratulations on the sideline with the two coaches. 56-14, the final score. The big story was the Aggies jumped on it early and took a 28-0 lead after one quarter. In fact, it was a 28-0 lead with 8:05 left in the first quarter, then coasted the rest of the way to take victory number 7 on the year, 7-2, and that finishes out the season for Middle Tennessee State. They finish at 7-4. Third place, by the way, in the Ohio Valley Conference. The Aggies still battling for the top spot when it's all said and done in the Southwest Conference in the final year. 56-14, the final. The Aggies win it by a score of 56-14. And we'll, of course, be here at the scene to recap the activity and have some final words on this, our last scheduled pay-per-view telecast of the year. And by the way, hope you enjoyed the series that we had for you this year on the pay-per-view. And we'll be able to be with Prime Sports in the future. 56-14, the final score. We'll be back in just a moment.